The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Is Justin Fields the Jets' long-term starter? We'll talk about that and more. And SNY Jets Analyst has quite the take about that. A lot to get into. Plus, a major show announcement at the start of the show. Dylan Tereman's going to join us. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, our first watch party of the year, the Jets and the Giants. We're headed back to T-Squared Social, August 16th. It is a 7 p.m. kickoff. 6:30, the party will start. Tickets are just $18. It includes one Friday beer, one green tea shot, and a raffle ticket. We'll do a Jets merch and Jets ticket raffle at halftime of the game. Let's be real. The game is secondary. It's an excuse for the community to get together and party. If you've never been to one of the watch parties, this might be the most fun we have all year at any of them. Anyone who went to the Jets-Panthers one a year ago could attest to that. So if you want to go, please lock in your spot. And when you get a ticket, you get 5 tickets in our weekly raffle whenever you do it. So please lock in your spot. The more people that buy tickets, the more revenue we have to make the raffle at halftime as epic as possible. So huge thank you to T-Squared. Great to work with them again for another season. And man, August 16th, let's go, baby. Jets, Giants, Jets backups versus Jackson Dart. What's better than that? Man, let's go. Link is in the description. I just put it in the live chat if you're tuned into the show live right now. With that said, let's say hello to a good friend of the show, our dear friend, Dylan Tereman. Dylan, appreciate you hopping on, my man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I just realized that today is Wednesday, so we should be getting a Jizzin' with Mike episode at 8 p.m. tonight. So very excited for that.
Shout out to Purple Belt Mike. A lot to talk about. Why don't we start with some news that actually broke during my first show today, and then we'll get to what SNY Jets analyst Connor Rogers said about Justin Fields. Practices, training camp, these are the ones open for the public. I think the Jets might have been the last team to announce which dates were actually open. The Giants announced their training camp schedule for fans weeks ago. So I was waiting and waiting for the Jets to announce theirs. A total of 8 practices open for the public. Your thoughts on a little training camp open session for fans?
Yeah, this is awesome. And I'm specifically eyeing up those first 2 dates, July 25th and July 26th. I have a bit of an extended vacation from work. My boss's birthday is that weekend, so I'm hoping to be able to fly up to New Jersey, spend a couple days in Florham Park if I can get the tickets, and fly home real quick. But I'm excited. I thought there was rumors that people weren't going to be allowed at these practices, so I'm glad that they're making at least a couple open to the public. I've only ever been to one of these, and it was last year, right before the Giants came to Florham Park. And as soon as my friend and I, who's a lifelong Packers fan, got in our seats, they announced that Rodgers and most of the starters weren't practicing. So it was kind of a bummer, but at the same time, it was cool to be out there. The facility's great. It's an awesome experience, and I hope a lot of people get to go. And for those who don't get their tickets or get tickets and can't go, just try to give them to people with children who've never been. That's always what I try to do, so that they can have their first experience at training camp too. So just a little food for thought there with the tickets.
Yep, 100%. We'll give away a lot on the show for anyone that secures tickets that can't use them. They're free. You just got to basically wait on the virtual line to lock in your spot. I won a bunch last year. A lot of fun. I was at a practice, though. It was a joint practice against the Commies, the Commanders, and the Jets defense dominated Jaden Daniels. So I'm thinking, wow, the Commanders might suck. Little did we know the Jets ended up being terrible, and the Commanders were in the NFC title game. And Tyrod Taylor started that entire practice because it was a little rainy. So Saleh benched Rodgers because he didn't want him to get hurt. and Tyrod and Garrett Wilson were cooking the Commanders, and you never know, but it is a lot of fun. You get really close to the players. It's cool to kind of see the behind the scenes, and they have a bunch of different things for fans to do with young kids, different different exhibits, different things that you could do, like, throw the football through the hoop and a bunch of different fun activities for kids. So definitely check it out. If you've never been, and the facility, as Dylan said, is awesome. I'd be remiss if we didn't shout out Janice Jett, who already gifted a 10 spot of channel memberships before we got the ball rolling here. Janice, let's go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
I'm going to spill the prize. Daily raffle, end of the show. This is a big one, so I'm excited. Sack Exchange, signed photo, 16 by 20 is the photo of the New York Sack Exchange. I have it right here. All right, it is huge. I'll go full screen on me so you guys can see it here for a moment. Like, this thing doesn't even fit in the camera shot here. So the image on the screen doesn't do it justice, but it is signed by Joe Klecko, and it is signed by Marty Lyons. So 2/4 of the legendary New York Sack Exchange. I mail it to you if you win. That is our daily raffle for today's show. Our weekly raffle prizes, after we gave away all the prizes on our first show today for Raffle 31, Raffle 32. Sign Bill Parcells helmet, item 1. Item 2, signed Aaron Glenn helmet. Are you sensing a theme, Dylan? Item number 3, signed Rex Ryan photo, Jets head coach theme raffle, leading us in to mid-July. Those are the top 3 prizes so far in the next Asmaniac raffle. Raffle 32, since we started doing these every week since December 1st. With that, Dylan, let's talk now about some comments Connor Rogers made about Justin Fields. This was on Badlands. This was the question from Joe Caporoso on Fields, and the answer from SNY's Connor Rogers.
Yes or no, is Justin Fields going to be the Jets' Week 1 starting quarterback in 2026?
I say yes, and here's why. I think there's 2 avenues for Justin Fields. He's mediocre, but he's very affordable, as Tyrod Taylor's backup quarterback contract expires after this year, and the Jets like Justin Fields at that number as a bridge starter, even coming off a mediocre season. So whoever they draft does not have to play right away, which has been the mistake of many, many Jets regimes in the past. And then there's the second one, which is less likely. He just plays well enough that he deserves to be the starter the following year.
Is Justin Fields the Week 1 starter in 2026, Dylan?
I would say my answer to that is yes right now, but I also think that there's a third answer that Connor didn't give as to a possible outcome, and that's, close your ears, Peter Castro, but that Justin Fields isn't good and that we wipe the entire quarterback room clean, right? And we don't have Tyrod anymore as a backup. We don't have Fields anymore in any capacity. So there's always that option. I'm not rooting for that option, and I actually think that's the least likely of the options, but I would say that Fields is the number 1 QB entering this time next season, regardless if we have a rookie in the fold or not. The $10 million that you've already guaranteed to him is, it's digestible on the cap. It's not going to overwhelm you if he's your backup. We're paying, I think, $6 or $7 million to Tyrod right now as the backup. So it's a slight increase in the backup quarterback that you're paying for. Excuse me, as all these landscaping trucks argue with each other on the road.
Are they looking for anyone to potentially join them?
I think they're looking for Beastbreaker because he's upstairs in the attic making some noise, but I think that's who they're calling for, to be honest.
Hey, you know what we do around here? We want all our listeners to be gainfully employed.
J-O-B, job.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think it's digestible, $10 million as a backup. And then obviously you want him to play well enough where that's not even a consideration in next year's draft, and he's just the outright starter. I don't know if that's necessarily the odds-on favorite right now. So I'd say right now he's probably the favorite to be the bridge to the future quarterback, whoever that may be.
To me, I very easily could see Fields being the starter Week 1 next year for the exact reasons Connor said. Like, his contract was front-loaded. I think the guarantee for Justin Fields next year, the Jets only owe him like $10 million left of his salary. Like, they front-loaded 30 of the $40 million up front. So he very easily can be the Week 1 starter as the bridge. Like, that, to me, is the most likely scenario here because I'm not a believer in Fields being the long-term guy. I hope I'm wrong. Like, I hope he goes out there and does what Sam Darnold just did, for example, or what Baker obviously did with Tampa the last few years. But you're 100% right. Like, there's an avenue to it because his contract is set up perfectly to be a bridge if he's not the guy. And he's a good teammate. He's not like a bad dude. So I don't think he'd throw a stink of having to basically hold the fort for a guy they take in round one. I mean, at this stage, Fields gets this year as the unquestioned guy. And if he doesn't play well enough, no team in the league is handing him a guaranteed starting spot going forward.
Exactly. And just an added layer to it is even if you draft a first-round quarterback, and I've done the reviews on Sellers and Klubnik, and then I just dropped Drew Allard today. So, like, if you get any of these even top-line guys in the draft next season, that doesn't mean that they're automatically going to come in and be, you know, Jaden Daniels or the guys that hit the ground running. They could have their hiccups and their struggles, right? So if Justin Fields is able to buy you as much time as possible for that rookie to get into one Jets drive, get the coaching, get the development, learn the playbook the right way, instead of having the trial by fire and, okay, now you have to be the savior of this franchise. The longer Justin Fields holds you off from having to answer that question with the rookie, the better. And even if it's not fantastic quarterback play, it's probably going to be better than what a rookie is going to do week one out the gates, unless he is very, very special.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line if you want in on the conversation. Shout out to Julian Vasquez. He's a channel member for 11 months. He sent in a super chat saying, thank you for the renewed membership. Slow day in Jet news, but holy bleep, Mets are legit. DJ LeMahieu was DFA'd. Looking forward to Jets versus Cowgirls. Jets, Jets, Jets. Julian, you said a lot. I will say this about DJ LeGround Ball. I wish him well. His first 2 years as a Yankee, he was unbelievable. He couldn't play anymore. His body was shot. Once they said he could no longer play the position of third, the second they took him away from second, he couldn't do anything, and he couldn't play second anymore either. So he might just be done. He'll get paid to not play for the Yankees for the next 2 years. So good luck to him, bud.
Is that what DFA'd means? I don't know. I'm not a baseball guy.
Designated for assignment, meaning if no one claims him, the Yankees are going to pay him to not play for him. No one's going to claim him.
Reading the Twitter streets, that seemed like the best path for him.
Black Gypsy gifting a channel membership. Black Gypsy, you're in the raffle for one. TB wants to know if I'm offering any signed Adam Gase merch in my next raffle. Yes, we're going to give away a signed Adam Gase smelling salts. Remember he did the smelling salts before the preseason game, his first game as the Jet coach?
Yeah. And then we went out and had a 16-0 lead on Buffalo, right? So, like, there was hope that we were all about to start buying smelling salts.
That was week one. He did this before their preseason game. It was like Jets
Giants.
That
was preseason he did that? Oh, my goodness.
He did the smelling salts.
I was going to say, could you imagine if he did that week one against Buffalo and we won the game? How many people would be on Amazon adding smelling salts to their cart?
Unbelievable. Brandon wants to know, am I giving away a signed Robert Saleh Lebanon, or how do you say the country?
Lebanon
patch. Yep. Beningo with those comments. That went viral on this show.
Alan said, are you giving away a Joe B and Sal? Yeah, there it is.
Alan might be a douche, but this is funny. A signed Robert Saleh Joe Beningo helmet.
This made me laugh.
That's well done. James,
I'll give that a B+, Alan. Wink, wink.
This show is like wrestling. You have to go back to the previous episode to see if you missed anything. So funny. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Best
I listen to you every day because I know that come my weekly spot, if I miss something on Monday or Tuesday's show, I'm not going to have the time to go back and do it. So I just throw you in my ear at work and I don't miss a thing.
We appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Dylan Tereman. If you guys haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel yet, you're missing out. I want to get into some comments that I talked about on the show yesterday. Did you see Breece Hall's remarks about the offense, talking about RPOs and different things that we haven't seen from a Jet offense being incorporated in this year's offense? What did you make of those comments? And I'll pull the clip because it's short. We could play it in a moment. But go ahead, give us your take on Breece's comments on the offense.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of what coming with a dual threat quarterback is all about, right? RPOs, zone reads, power reads, really getting your guys out in space, confusion in the backfield. So I'm all for it. And I know Breece said that sometimes it works and sometimes it sucks. I don't think he means that it's like a high risk, high reward type of offense. I think he means it sucks because there's the element of Justin holding on to it and keeping it and Breece not getting able to run it, because all Breece cares about is getting his touches and trying to help the team. So I think when people think, oh, he said it might suck, I don't think it means the offense. I think it means the fact that he might not get the ball because he just wants to carry it every play, which you want your running back to want to do.
Here's the response from Breece, part of a longer answer, but this is the part we're focusing in on.
It's going to be fun. We're doing a lot of, read options, RPOs, which sometimes it sucks, but sometimes it works really well. So
run pass option, baby. Something a Jet team in our lifetime has never really done very often.
Yeah, let's be an offense that actually lives in the 2020 decade, right? Instead of whatever the hell this was with Hackett and just running the same concepts over and over and over again.
Can the Jets run game carry their passing attack to success?
I think it's going to be a catalyst for the passing success because the play action is going to be tethered off of it. And I think if you can't run play action, everything is going to be, hectic in your offense. You can't just have standard drop back passes only in your offense. So you need to have the threat of the run to have passing success. So does that necessarily mean that they have to run the ball and do the run, pass stuff that we've all grown tired of? No, not necessarily, but you have to at least be able to get a chunk play with Breece on first or second down, set up a third and manageable where you have the entire playbook open for Justin Fields. So that if you want to get him out in a play action and change the launch point, that'd be good. If you want to have him scramble or, do the RPO stuff on third down, you just want to leave yourself with as many options as possible. And having a good run game is going to do that because if not, you become too predictable like we saw last year.
Hit the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you guys are already subscribed to not just my channel, but Dylan's channel as well. We're giving away a signed photo by Joe Klecko, Marty Lyons, the New York Sack Exchange at the end of the show. Anthony, who won a signed Don Maynard helmet on our first show today, he's in the raffle now for 5. Anthony, I heard that your daughter had to break the news to you that you won the raffle prize. So congrats to you, and thanks again for all your support. I know how much you love Beast Breaker, so this is for you. I know Dylan loves that as well.
I feel like Mets, whatever Mets numbers are after, and he closes his eyes. I feel like I need to do that every time I see that.
Anthony's 5 gifted memberships went to Pete DeTraglia, Flex Hayes, Merklo26, Slim Shack Collectibles, and Drew Sherrill. They're all now channel members. Also, you're going to hear me say it a lot, but we did announce our first watch party of the season, preseason, baby. It's going to be a real party. I mean, there'll be less watching and more partying at this one than any watch party we do. Jets Giants, August 16th. It is a Saturday night, so come hang with us at T-Squared Social, right next to Grand Central Station in New York City. Great location, easy to get to from all 3 of the tri-states that frequently tune into the show, New York, Jersey, and Connecticut, so check it out. It's going to be a blast. $18 ticket. You get a free beer, a free shot, and a raffle ticket to win Jets tickets and to win signed Jets merch during our halftime raffle. Special guests to be announced as well. So get ready. It is going to be a wild evening. With that said, phone lines open if you want in on the conversation. We're talking with Dylan Tereman in his weekly spot. The big thing for me with the roster is what exactly does the focus on the run mean for how many wide receivers they keep? Plus, I think Andrew Beck being on this team as a fullback / tight end, if they keep him, does that mean there's a tight end that's in jeopardy? His record spot maybe not as safe as we think? Does that mean they're taking maybe only 5 wide receivers versus 6? What does that mean for Corley? Is he going to get a chance to play any special teams? I think my biggest question entering camp, Dylan, is just a wide receiver room and how that potentially impacts what they want to do with the tight end room / fullback with Beck.
Yeah, so I usually try to go 50-50 with my roster projections, and we don't have to do the whole thing right now, obviously, but there's 53, right? So you figure 25 on offense, 25 on defense, your kicker, your punter, your long snapper are your 3 special teams guys. So if you have 25 offensive players, I always assume 10 offensive linemen, and we'll be surprised if it's 9 or less. 2 quarterbacks because we're a modern NFL offense and we're not stupid and going to keep 3 or 4. So that's 12 of your 25. You have 13 left for your skill groups. That leaves you 3 running backs, 5 wide receivers, and 5 tight ends if you consider Beck a tight end / fullback. So it's really a 4 running back / fullback, 5 wide receiver, 4 tight ends. And that's a decent split for me. So that gives everybody a chance. 5 wide receivers probably doesn't give Corley or Gibson a chance unless they move on from Allen Lazard. and they really don't like one of the new acquisitions, which I don't think either of them are in jeopardy, those being Reynolds or Tyler Johnson, of in jeopardy of being on the roster bubble. So Corley and Gibson would be the odd mans out, but that's kind of how I try to break it down. It's 25 offensive linemen. So you can get away, or 25 offensive players. So you can get away with, mixing it up. But I think that's kind of how I would see it right now.
I love it. To me, that makes sense. And if they're going to run the ball the volume we all think they're going to, they don't need 6 or 7 receivers. Like, I'm sorry, Malachi Corley is not on scholarship. Xavier Gibson's not. What does he do well? I'm sorry. What does he do well? We thought he'd be this unbelievable special teams player. His greatest moment was in his first ever game. We'll never forget it. But like, I think that's what he is. Like, I don't look at him as like this. You got to have him out there on special teams. He's a short slot receiver. There's got to be better use of that roster spot when push comes to shove with an offense that doesn't want to throw to that many wide receivers, not named Garrett Wilson and probably occasionally Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, and it's a bummer. I mean, I'm not too concerned about Gibson not being on the team, but it would really stink for me personally if Malachi Corley's not on the team. I was a huge advocate of drafting him, loved watching him at the Senior Bowl and his physicality. I still think there's something to tap into with that player if the regime wants to do it, but it's just a matter of him being healthy at the end of the day. They keep repeating that, and it seems like he's the odd man out. But yeah, those are the 2 guys to me, and then the other 5 you have are going to be a solid group, considering you're going to rely on your running backs and tight ends more, at least in my opinion. At least Breece and Mason Taylor. The depth guys are a little bit of a concern at tight end, but yeah, I don't think wide receiver is going to be as predominant of a position as everybody wants it to be.
Hey, Frank P., if you're in the chat, I just received confirmation that your Broadway Joe Namath helmet, which, surprise, I'm sending you a display case with it, that is on its way. I just received the email. So, Frank P., congrats again on winning the grand prize on the morning show today, a signed Broadway Joe helmet. Shout out to AD. He joins the raffle with 5 raffle entries. AD, this is for you.
We are mama way.
My favorite part about that clip, by the way, is Terry, Joe's lovely wife, in the background being like, Joe, what are you doing? Great. AD in the raffle for 5. Let's see who got him. Jay Willie, Wilfredo Garcia, Savage, FIFO, Paul, Boy Green, Esden Jr. Let's go. Oh, Dylan, I meant to make you a mod too, by the way. So just type something in the chat so I want to make all the content creators who I'm friends with that come on the show. I want to make them mods so the audience knows that they're in here and can interact with them during the stream. So, Boy Green, you're a channel member. AD, thank you. I got you down. Mike Perez checks in. He says, loved all the guests, but Dylan's becoming my favorite. Jake Chickafilla hit the spot earlier. That's an inside reference from the first show today.
Hell yeah, Mike. I was the first one that guessed McClendon, too, on his jersey. And I wasn't sure what year it was from or anything, and I just guessed McClendon because it was a 99. And I'm glad you pulled up the picture that had the exact tear in the shirt. That was awesome.
I cannot believe Mike Perez has a Steve McClendon Jets practice jersey. Not a jersey, right? Anyone could get a random jersey. He had this jersey in the photo. Like, he had the actual rip from this practice jersey. And he said he got it at a flea market or a thrift shop.
Store. Yep.
Yeah, amazing.
Literally one of a kind. That's just incredible.
One of one right there. Mike, shout out to you. Appreciate your support of the program. Big Fella says, even though I won't be able to be at the watch party because I'll be in Tennessee, I highly recommend if you're able to go to the watch party. So fun. They're better than the actual game, Big Fella, because the team's been so bad. And the preseason party last year, I'm working on a highlight recap that I'll share leading up to this. Just insane. I was on Nick Shine's shoulders leading Jet Chance. Wild times, man.
Oof. Wow.
Dom is in the chat. He wants a mod. Okay.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Dom?
We'll take care of this. Let's see. Dom, you got to come back on the show, man. Draft's over, and now we don't hear from Dom C anymore. He just goes into hibernation.
I think he's doing the whole baseball coaching thing with his kid, if I'm not mistaken. His summers are real busy. I remember talking to him a couple weeks ago, but glad to have you in the chat, and can't wait to chop it up. Talking Jets ball with Dom C.
One of the greats, the great Dom C. Comments, questions, super chats. Let's get to some calls with Dylan. We'll mix those in. I did want to ask you about Mason Taylor, though. He's spoke in that same kind of interview setting that the Jets put out, talking about Engstrand having a plan for all the tight ends, and he thinks he's going to be involved. I think we all think Mason Taylor is going to be involved. I think the question is just like, how successful will he be as a rookie? What are your expectations for him in year one?
Yeah, I would say the baseline is, I've kind of been calling it the 4-4-4. 40 catches, 400 yards, and 4 touchdowns for me would be probably exceeding expectations for Mason Taylor, if I'm being completely honest. It's just not often that they hit the ground running and are absolutely dominant in the receiving game. Maybe his blocking is the thing that kind of gets him on the field early, and then he's worked into the pass game. I did a subjective positional power rankings on my channel, and just baseline looking at all the names on each position group, I labeled tight end as the worst group on the team outside of special teams. We're not going to consider any of those guys who've never kicked professionally, right? So tight end was the lowest grade, and it just stinks when it's headlined by a rookie, because you would like for him to be behind a veteran and learn and kind of develop slowly or into the NFL. But now it seems like he's going to have to hit the ground running. If he's your third or fourth leading pass catcher in terms of receptions, targets, yards, that's probably about where he should be. But anything more than that, like I said, 400 yards is where I'm kind of sitting with him. I'd be pleasantly surprised if it's more than that.
I look, it'd be great if he's Brock Bowers. It'd be great if he's Sam Laporta. I think some people are expecting maybe a lot more than what's capable from Taylor. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's great. I'm tired of hyping these guys up, and we set ourselves up to be disappointed. If he puts up what Dustin Keller did as a rookie, I'd sign for that right now. I think that'd be promising.
Yeah, and I think a couple weeks ago they did on the Badlands, the most productive tight ends in the last 10 years, and Ryan Griffin was third on that list. So any list that has Ryan Griffin near the top needs to be, changed very quickly. And we all thought Ruckert was going to do that, and maybe he, 260 yards in his whole career. Maybe he has a little over 200 this season, and that'd be wonderful. But yeah, as a room, the tight end position is a little underwhelming for me. And Taylor, I would like to see him be involved. I just don't know how much right away he'll be involved in the pass game. They're going to get him blocking in space immediately. So I'm excited for the blocking.
Boy Green says there is a path for him being the second leader in targets on the team. I think he can get you 500 plus, maybe even 600. Yeah. If that's second leading, this team's going to be bad.
Well, yeah, I think it's between Breece, Taylor, and Reynolds as your second leading guy. I don't know about targets exactly, because I feel like Garrett's going to get 140, and that's just ludicrous. But yeah, any of those three, Breece, Taylor, or Reynolds, in that range is probably likely your pass catcher number 2. I won't call it wide receiver 2, but that's probably the range they're going to sit in. I don't think anybody's going to get over 750 yards as the second leading guy. So yeah, it's tough. It's distributing Justin Fields. Even if you just want to go 3,000 pass yards, it's really hard to distribute all the yards to go around.
Look, they should not be throwing a ton to begin with if they're successful. So the volume of targets for guys not named Garrett and probably Breece early should be limited. If Taylor puts up 600 receiving yards, I think that's a win in year one for a second round tight end.
Yeah, like you said, Dustin Keller numbers is way better than what we want. And I don't know if he gets to that number, but like you said, 600 or 700, that'd be fantastic. And you really feel good about the position moving forward.
What's an Arian Smith projection? How many yards does he get?
350.
Wow, that's actually more than I thought.
A little conservative. I think a lot of it's going to come on.
You think that's conservative? I thought that was that was lenient.
Well, I feel like a lot of people are all over the place with the projections, so I'm trying to go somewhere in the middle, leaning conservative. But yeah, I think a lot of it is going to be 60 yards, and then all of a sudden he has a game with 22, 23, and then it's going to be a lot of the big shots downfield. So if he's able to get 350, I think it's I forget what the math was, over 17 games. Somebody help me with the math. It's it's not that many yards per game at 350. So I felt okay with that. But yeah, I can see how some people might think that's a little high. I think he's going to have a role, though. That's the thing. If there's only 5 wide receivers and Allen Lazard sucks and can't catch the ball, they're going to have to play Arian Smith. If their 11 personnel is Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Arian Smith in the slot by week 3, I'm not surprised.
Think about what you just said. If Allen Lazard sucks and he can't catch the ball, so let's go to the guy that also is known for not being able to catch the ball.
Well, there's a guy with more upside to be able to catch the ball than Allen Lazard. We've known Allen Lazard just can't catch the ball. I think it's a lot of concentration and focus with Arian Smith. Not so the fact he's not double catching or bobbling, and he's not. Allen Lazard just flat out has cinder blocks for hands.
Is he still playing soccer? Or I think he gave that up last year.
Oh God, yeah. Please retire the soccer ball, dude. Like it's fun when we're winning. All that stuff is fun when we're winning. But the second you lose, it's going to be a problem. And AD in the chat, 20 yards a game is 350.
Boy
He can
Green
get there.
writes in, Nick Faria said Arian Smith could be the next Deshaun Jackson. Move over Garrett Wilson. Dude, Nick
Yeah.
Faria's love of Arian Smith, like those first two like practices, that was insane.
It is cool when Nick compares us to the Eagles. I think that one was a bit of a stretch, let's be honest. I mean, Arian Smith compared to Djax, like that's just crazy. Deshaun's doing stupid things in that Eagles offense, but yeah, I think that like would be his highest ceiling expectation. It's just like who besides Nick Faria thinks that he's gonna get to that level? I don't know. I don't think so. And I think I'm pretty high on Arian Smith comparatively to the mean of the fan base.
A wrenched up Dom C writes in, Fields utilized Komet at a very high percentage in Chicago. I'm comfortable saying I think Taylor's a much more competent pass catcher than Komet. I do give this stat a lot. Fields, among quarterbacks with at least 20 starts the last couple seasons, he's third in the league when targeting a tight end from a QBR standpoint. So he does have success throwing to the tight ends.
Yeah, the way that Justin Fields has had success in the offense that he's been in is passing to the tight ends, right? So I think it was DJ Moore and Cole Kmet that year. So yeah, I agree with Dom's thinking that you should be more comfortable with Taylor as a pass catcher than Cole Kmet. We just have to see, right? How many opportunities does that actually turn into for Mason Taylor? And do they allow him to, maybe he's passing more to the outsides of the numbers and it's stuff that we haven't seen Justin do before, which would really go along with developing him as a quarterback like they're trying to do. But yeah, definitely hone in on the stuff he does well for sure.
Devin joining the raffle. He has gifted 1 channel membership. Devin, your gifted membership went to listener Stewie Uploads. We're giving away that photo you see on the screen, signed by Klecko and Lyons of the New York Sack Exchange. And if you missed our first show today, I just saw we had a viewer spike. We did, in fact, do Raffle 31. So here are the top prizes in next week's Asmaniac Raffle. Prize 1, signed Rex Ryan photo. Prize 2, signed Aaron Glenn helmet. And our top prize, a helmet signed by Hall of Famer Bill Parcells. Jets helmet signed by Coach Bill Parcells. So get the membership to enter. And if you don't win a daily prize, you're automatically entered in a weekly raffle prize. Castaway Jet, he says, would you trade Olu for Bowers? Q Gary versus Jake. I really think I wouldn't. Maybe I'm crazy because Bowers has already proven to be great, but I loved what I saw from Olu last year. He's a premium position, left tackle, that I think is going to be here for a long time, like DeBrickashaw Ferguson. And as great as Bowers was, his team was terrible last year. Like, I just think having a really good left tackle is not a bad thing, even if Bowers ends up being pound for pound a better overall player. Like, I value positional impact, and I think Olu's impact at left tackle will be greater for the Jets' win-losses going forward than Bowers would be.
Yeah, I think there's more of an argument to be made if this was a question before we drafted Membu and Mason Taylor in this past year's draft, because you'd have to consider you're probably trading Mason Taylor for Colton Miller, right? So that you get your offensive lineman back. And I don't like that trade, really. I'm not giving up the more valuable position at left tackle at a guy who played really well, even though it was 6 or 7 games. He played 3 different positions on the offensive line. Bowers, yeah, he's a great athlete. He's a great player. He's probably going to be, up there with the personal accolades, and he might, depending on what team he, retires with, he might be a Raiders Ring of Honor guy, right? And it's crazy to talk about after just 1 year, but I don't know. I don't think trading an offensive lineman for a tight end would be the move right now, but let's get Gary on and you guys can fight it out.
Gary, if you're watching, check the mail over the next couple of days. That's all I'm going to say, because I sent Gary a nice little surprise package. So I don't know if Gary's watching, and if he's not watching, then no one tell him.
Did you get him one of those pointers that's just the finger pointing? That's what he needs.
Pointing at you. Pointing. We're presented today by Hugo House. See the hat I'm wearing? 20% off their performance line hats when you use code ASMAN at checkout. These are awesome. If you work out in them, you want to be in the sun. They're comfortable. They feel nice. Bunch of different colors. Shout out to Matt Siegel, who bought the green one you see on the screen, the jet green color Hugo House performance cap. He showed that to me using the promo code. They got the beige one back in stock now, too, for those of you asking about that. So check it out. Huga House, promo code Asman at checkout, 20% off. Shout out to Huga House for sponsoring today's program. All right, phone lines open. Let's mix in your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, we asked if Gary was on the line. He is on the line. So, Gary, check your mail in a few days, and everyone stop what you're doing and point at the nearest person to you.
He's pointing. Gary Box point at you. Gary Box point at you. Gary Box. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Box I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Gary Box point at you. I point.
What's going on, Jake? You sent me a package?
I sent you a package. I think it's something you're going to really like, and I think it's going to change your worldview, but I don't want to say anything else.
I don't think it's going to change my worldview, but I'll take a look at it.
After you open the package, you're going to stop and say, man, I really think women should be able to vote.
I don't think I'll say that, but
Okay.
but I'll keep an open mind. I'll tell you that.
All right. Thank you.
So there's like two things I wanted to touch on. First, Nick Faria said that Arian Smith could be Deshaun Jackson.
He did.
He did. Look, I've called it every day. I said, all y'all are going to owe me a big apology about Arian Smith at the end of the year. Even I didn't go that far. And I don't agree with Nick on anything. I think Nick's terrible. But
okay, he's not terrible.
I kind of like where he's going with it. I'm like, so here's my thing on Arian Smith. I saw him against Texas in the regular season game convert key third downs, making plays. In the Georgia game, best player on the field. On an Alabama-Georgia game, he was the best player on the field. He made a play, I think, in a run game against Notre Dame, right? Like, these are the best teams in the country he's making plays against in the biggest games of the year. Now, I get statistically his catch ratio was abysmal. He had a drop in the Notre Dame game. What other game did he kill you with drops? Like, I don't remember these games. Like, I don't remember watching Georgia, which we watch, one of the premier college football teams. We watch them every Saturday. I don't remember Arian Smith costing Georgia all these games with drops. The stats are what they are. I get it. But I don't remember him being like, oh, this guy can't catch the ball. I don't remember that. I remember him killing the Longhorns. I remember him killing Georgia. I remember all that. I don't remember all the drops.
So he had moments of success, but that doesn't mean that he didn't have a bunch. Just because you didn't see the drops, that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
But I'm saying he helped win games, big games, made big plays in big games. I don't remember the drops costing him games, third down drops. Like, I don't remember this. Like, and I watched Georgia like pretty much every Saturday. It's Georgia. Now, I would say the thing I don't love is that, he's a fifth-year senior, and against Texas, I was like, oh, is this guy a freshman? Who is this guy? They're like, no, he's a fifth-year senior. Is he a transfer? Where did he come from? No, he's been on this team.
No, it's because he was playing track. He was on the track team at Georgia, and he was focusing more on that for the first 3 seasons, and then transferred over, and he was like, no, I want to commit full-time to football in what I guess that would be his 4th year at Georgia. And then he was like kind of a rotational player in, what would that be, 2023. And then 2024, he had a full-time role. Like you said, I don't specifically remember games where he had drops that cost them the game, but there was a game that I watched. I forget who the opponent was, and it's on the film review that I did on Jet Nation's YouTube channel of Arian Smith. He dropped a 60-yarder in the bucket that would have trajectory would have put them ahead of their opponent early in the football game and kind of made it out of reach, and he dropped it. So it's not necessarily that he's dropping them on those key third downs in the second half, but when you add up enough of those drops, it does kind of play into their losses. But to your point, I don't remember that specific third down where it was like a gotta have it and they went to him, maybe because they didn't trust him in those gotta have it situations. But I do agree. There's a little bit. 10 drops is a bad number, but that's not good. I agree. If you watch all 10 of the drops, 3 of them at least, I will blame on Carson Beck not being a good quarterback. So
we're agreeing on a lot today, right? Carson Beck is not a good quarterback. We agree on a lot today.
He went from being number 1 in last year's way too early's to outside the top 10 in the quarterback rankings and entering 2025. He had to transfer to Miami, right? So now he's picking up where Cam Ward left off.
What's crazy, though, if we looked at the top of the drafts, like the way too early drafts a year ago, 365 days ago, Beck and Quinn were the top two quarterbacks
Yep.
on the board. One went back to college, and one went like 200 and something overall. It's like,
One's
that's
backing
wild.
up Zach Wilson.
I would quit. If I'm backing up Zach Wilson, I would quit. I'd go do something else. I can't back up Zach Wilson. That's disrespectful.
Beat him out.
Seriously.
I don't think that's a problem. I think, by the end of the preseason, Quinn will be their number 2 quarterback. Like, I can't put Zach Wilson in a football game. I know what it is. It's never not been abysmal.
Yeah. And somehow
Outside
Jets fans are scared of Zach Wilson.
Everyone makes a big deal of the Chiefs game. They scored 17 points and he lost the game on a fumble. I was like,
They
this
lost.
is the game
They didn't even win.
That's what I'm saying. They lost the game because he fumbled it.
I know.
This is the best game. This was his Buster Douglas moment. It's like, oh, look at this. This is like, it's not even good.
Buster Douglas got the knockout. He actually finished the job.
He had a good game, that Kansas City game. Like, everything was going.
For about 2 quarters, right? Like,
yeah, for 2 quarters we were competitive with the reigning champion.
And he was great in the second half against the Texans in that game where it was like monsooning. Like that's
crazy. Because
it's all about the Steelers game, guys. Let's be honest.
The fourth quarter of the
Steelers
game, he was
second
good.
half.
But that's the thing, right? Like Zach Wilson, we can only point to. We can't give you a full game where he was just awesome, right? I could give you full games where Darnold, his rookie year, the Texans game, the Packer game, he was awesome. Like Zach at his best only had quarters or halves. There was never one complete game.
I was flying back from the Devin Haney Regis Prograis fight, and I had an early morning flight, and I got in, and I landed in the second quarter, and it was like the middle of the second quarter, and it was nothing. And I got home at halftime. It was still nothing. I'm like, you know what? I haven't slept. I'm not watching the second half of this game. I'm just going to bed. And I woke up, and the Jets won like 30-0. Like, what the hell did Zach Wilson do in this? Because it was nothing at half, right?
Yeah.
Or like. And I didn't see any of it. I'm like, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching another nothing Jets game. I'm going to bed. I'm going to get some sleep. And I woke up and the Jets won 30-0. I was like, what the hell did I miss? I never saw it. I never saw Zach Wilson's greatest moment in a Jet uniform. And I don't want to go back to the Bowers thing, right? But like, if we would have took Bowers last year, we could have took Kelvin Banks this year, right? So it's like, okay, yeah, look. I said, if you're going to draft Olu, you better make sure he's damn good because you're passing on a hell of a player. He's so far so good. Right? I'm not like I would have taken Bowers, obviously.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
I would have taken Bowers, obviously. But Olu's played well. He's done well.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
Are we done?
I probably got one more on me.
But there were tackles on the board, right? Like, and I wanted Kelvin Banks from the get-go. Like, I still wanted to draft him. So it's not like we couldn't get another another tackle in this year's draft. Like, Kelvin Banks would have been available for us to take. Like, we could have got a tackle in this year's draft. So it's not like we'd be without a tackle if we took Bowers.
Yeah, but like, what tackle would we have been in range for? Because it got a little dicey if Olu wasn't on the board for us this year.
Well, I'm saying, no, last year we would have missed out on a tackle, right?
Okay.
We would have got
right.
And
right.
then this year's we could have taken Banks.
Okay. Yeah. So you'd have
You
Bowers and
would I
Banks.
rather have Bowers and Banks or Olu and Taylor, or however you want to look at that, right? I know we got Taylor second, so that's not a perfect analogy, but like I would still rather have Bowers and Banks.
Okay.
And you're saying Bowers played on a terrible team. That's fair. They were terrible. Did Olu play on a good team last year? You know what I'm saying? That's not a fair knock on him, even though he did play on a terrible team.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I would probably say I want the other way, how we have it over, because I just wasn't a huge fan of Banks. And I know there was a lot of people that loved Banks. I didn't love what I saw out of Banks. So
they said his wingspan. I watched him, every snap he played for Texas for 3 years. They said his wingspan is too short. That's kind of the knock on him.
Does he also point at people in photos?
Hopefully, we can point at each other. I'll try to get a picture with him.
I look forward to that.
All right. I think that's all I got.
Gary, thanks for the time.
All right.
Women need to vacuum and shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Banger. New one from Gator.
Gator is undefeated.
We were due for a new Gary boxing saying video.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to update it every couple weeks because he just keeps upping it. He makes it more extreme.
It's unreal. Dylan, are you ready for potentially a new beast open here?
A potentially new beast? Yes, always ready for these.
I just had chicken. Chicken.
Beast, you there?
Jeez, bro.
I'm trying to get my update, but what the hell was that?
That was you.
Am I watching chicken or am I watching Teletubbies on steroids?
Beast, show off the pennant that I see you hung it up already. I wanted you to do it live on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, or should I say, es mundial, el este, the choice of choice, the El Jake Asman show, los Estados Unidos.
It looks good, Beast. You were the first person I sent it to when we made these.
And it fits right next to the Greek flag and the Polish flag.
I think I have some Polish in my family history, so that works.
I definitely do. Beast Attic looks like Heritage Day in middle school when everybody brings in a flag of their home countries.
Choice. Good choice. Very, very good choice.
I don't think we chose to be Polish, Beast.
Hey, I grew up here. When I grew up here, I grew up in a Polish neighborhood. If you were tough, you could take pain. But nowadays, everything is soft, soggy, stale, not hard enough. And knowing me, I'm ready for preseason. Oh yeah, 6 more weeks. Oh yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. It's just I can feel it right through my fingers, like the Ultimate Warrior. Anybody who remembers the Ultimate Warrior was going, "I'll get you, Hulk Hogan." And remember, it's not the belt that we want. I will take you to places you shall never have been.
Hey, Beast, Dylan's got a shirt that he's wearing in honor of you. Dylan, do you want to show it off?
Yeah. So I don't know how you're gonna beat these allegations, Beast, but I've received a photographic evidence of you and one honorable Barbarossa smoking.
You can take that shirt and wipe your ass
Dumbledore's
with it.
office.
Wipe your ass with it. I don't want no part of that bullshit.
If you didn't go to Hogwarts, how does this exist then, Beast? Come on.
Trash.
It's not trash. This is real.
This weeks ago that this is garbage. Do not make. You know what I'm getting ready to do soon? I'm going to form a dangerous alliance, and I'm going to get the best businessmen on the planet.
You're going to have to call Bonesy to get you out of this one, man. Like, you guys are smoking in Dumbledore's office.
I'm getting the 5 best businessmen, and don't think I'm not playing games with you. You're not playing with the next Paul E. Dangerously. You're asking for it.
Hey, Beast. Gator sent you a scale, right?
Did he really?
Yeah, so Gator sent you a scale, and we have determined.
But before you get to this bullshit excuse, there will be a dangerous alliance, and I'm gonna get the 5 best men, and I'm talking the 5.
Yeah, we'll get to the 5 best men in a second. Gator sent you a scale. He spent hard-earned money and sent a scale to you, Beast, and you claim that you're 259. Why don't you get on the scale that Gator sent you, and then send him a picture of it, and then we can determine if it's settled us once and for all. Figure out who's telling the truth, who's lying here.
I like how the sunglasses changed from the morning to now these
this
aviator
is getting to be
types.
an effing joke.
What aspect is a joke? I had you on mute there as I was trying to explain the scale thing.
You think this is all fun and games? Well,
Actually, yes, I do.
The fun is out. The fun is out.
This is fun. I'm having fun.
Turn up the heat.
I'm having fun.
Now the heat is on.
Beast, did you receive the scale?
I've already said my piece. I already said my goddamn piece. Now
get on the scale and prove you're 259. That's what Gator's saying.
You know what? Good night. Exit stage left. See ya. We'll want to be.
Do we think he calls back?
I'll give him 259 seconds and he's back in the green room.
I think he's back before the 6 p.m. hour starts.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, man. Gator, shout out to you for sending him the scale. It says that it has not arrived. Damn.
Gator said it hasn't arrived?
It's what it says in the chat, yeah.
Oh. Well, all right, Beast. When it arrives, you get on the scale and you prove yourself. That's it.
Not here. He should have just said, it's not here yet. Then we can correct next week to get on it.
Mike, I didn't get a chance to ask Beast the question you had for him about his full nationality. We don't know what nationality Beast is. He's all the nationalities, all the religions, different creeds.
Only his stomach is Italian, the way he eats gabagool.
That was well done. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. We got legend after legend on the line. Here we go. Rapid fire. You guess right now, inside or outside.
Go inside, Kyle. Go inside.
Dylan, how are you?
I'm doing well, but I would be doing much better if you were inside, Kyle.
I just was. I had to pull it off the charger and come back out.
Oh,
sneaky devil.
I'm inside I've been inside way too much. I'm on vacation now. I've got to enjoy the cool summer breezes.
I was gonna say I was on a hot streak guessing inside in Clifton side for a little bit there. Now I'm 0 for 2 today. You're hurting me.
I'm sorry, Dylan. I don't do it
right.
intentionally. I do like to keep the chat guessing, though.
Yeah, you do a good job of it.
So, question for you. Would you prefer Brock Bowers and, say, Banks, or insert offensive tackle from this year here? Or would you have preferred Olu and Colston Loveland this year?
Oh, probably still Olu and Colston Loveland. I'm not sure that Banks will be I wouldn't be as confident in Banks going into his second year like I am with Olu. That's kind of the hiccup for me. I didn't love Banks on tape when I watched him at Texas. I thought he did some things well. He has the versatility of both tackles, but we saw Olu was able to do it in his rookie season, right? He played 3 different positions. So I would still take Olu. And then I think Loveland would technically be an upgrade over Mason Taylor, not quite to Brock Bowers level. So you're still upgrading at tight end while still keeping the second or the better offensive tackle, in my opinion. So no, I don't think I would take that, but it's a little bit closer than Gary's proposal.
So a follow-up question for the distinguished gentleman from South Carolina. What do they do in the second round this year in that scenario if they had taken Loveland? Where do you think
This is deep July Jets talk, by the way.
You're saying this past draft, if they went Loveland at 11 instead of Membu?
Yep. Well, we brought up Bowers again, Jake. I mean, to be fair.
We did. We're going down memory lane. We're playing all the hits today.
Let me pull up the second round of this past year's draft, and I'll tell you which offensive tackle I would have taken, because I know like Anthony Belton went in that range, right? Like he went 48, I think, to the Packers. So it'd be like between him and there was another one that we all loved. Who was it? Jonah Savanaia, I believe, from Minnesota, or whoever the Minnesota guy was. I'm blanking on these names already. This is terrible.
Or do you think that maybe they would have gone in an entirely different direction and been satisfied with a 4-core, or look to draft someone developmental later? That I guess that could have been an option.
That could have been an option, but that would have really scared all of us, right? If we didn't have a solid left tackle that we felt confident in protecting Justin Fields. So I would have said that they probably would have forced their hand at offensive tackle in the second round anyway. But yeah, that gets dicey, right? Because then you could have really gone anyway. They could have gone wide receiver even at that point. So yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
I mean,
I like how it all planned out, actually.
So it's hard to say. You know, there's a lot of people that think Okorafor is competent, based on what the tape he put out there in Pittsburgh. I was a big Colston Loveland guy towards the end. I was like, this is probably the guy that makes the most sense for us. But I also understood why Membu was in the conversation.
Yeah, Loveland is going to be a special talent, in my opinion, in Chicago. I'm always a fan of going positional value over the other in the first and second round, really. So I still would have gone O-line. But yeah, I couldn't complain if they took Loveland and then came back and thank you, Chris B. Ariante Ursary, the guy from Minnesota. So I wouldn't have been terribly upset with that, but I don't have the confidence in Ursary that I do Membu as a week one starter. And then you probably would have had the competition between Ursary and Okorafor at right tackle. So that would have been a little bit questionable, in my opinion.
Especially considering the fact that it seems like Colston Loveland was handpicked for Ben Johnson's scheme in Chicago, right?
Yes, and you could say the same thing for Tanner Engstrand in our offense, but we have more proof that the Ben Johnson in Chicago plan is going to work, and Engstrand could be something completely different than Ben Johnson. So yeah, I agree with that take schematically. I thought Tyler Warren would be the best schematic fit at tight end if you're going with one of the top three guys.
So I think the reason that Xavier Gibson is still on the team, Jake, is that I think that there is a Tim Hortons in Raritan, and he's the only player that lives close to a donut shop. So when he brings them in, that's why he's the guy that the previous coaching staff wanted to keep on the roster. The players, they don't like Tim Hortons, so his roster spot is really in jeopardy this year.
God, he might be Tim Horton. He might be in the CFL. So there you go.
No, the wide receiver room is really interesting, right? I'm hoping that Tyler Johnson can emerge and maybe be, a fourth wide receiver. Arian Smith, I mean, all he has to be is what we call a CT, credible threat, right? Like if he catches floating balls in between 250 and 300 yards and isn't a guy that, people feel like they can ignore, then we're trying to run the ball anyway. And maybe he can be a gadget guy for us. It does worry me a little bit to have Lazard with the dropsies and perhaps Smith on the roster at the same time with drop issues. But I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point that Reynolds is going to be our number two. So, the camp is going to really show us how the depth is going to shake out. I appreciate it, guys.
Kyle, great call as always. There was a comment that came in during that from Artie of Party with Peg and Artie that your vacation doesn't start, Kyle, until you take your shirt off. So next time, at least one person in the chat would like to see a topless Kyle Clifton. I'd like to get that on the record.
To his point about wide receivers real quick, though, I do think it is Johnson, Corley, and Smith kind of volleying for that last spot there, whether it's wide receiver 4 or 5. And to his point about being a credible threat, if you can get two pairs of eyes on the defense going towards Arian Smith's direction, or, two guys to creep that way in the formation, and you allow for Garrett Wilson to come open underneath, or Breece Hall to come in open underneath, or Mason Taylor, you're doing your job, right? So like a lot of his job might just be a lot of smoke and mirrors, and we're going to just stretch the defense and keep them honest, because the one time that we lull them to sleep and they don't roll their safeties the right way and Arian Smith beats them, then that's the one time you want him to make the catch. So I agree. You just have to have a credible threat in Arian Smith to at least feel like he could be part of the pass game, and then take eyes off of the other guys like Garrett.
It's the AsmanJake membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
We're big in Amsterdam, baby. Rick has sent in 10 gifted membership. Shout out to Rick, a regular caller, Amsterdam Jet fan. That's our guy, Rick. Luis Antonocci, Gangrene David, Boogie Down Dave, Joey Coffee, J-Rod, Slaps, Joe Frisco, JT99, Doug Hurst, Michael Rodriguez, all receiving a channel membership gifted by Rick. Rick, I got you down in the raffle for 10. More of your calls right now. A lot of people are dying to know what the latest is after this guy sat down at Chili's this past Saturday and interviewed for a host position. We get the latest right now.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that those he takes steroids. Need some of it. Hey, Charles. Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles.
Hello, Jake. Hello, Dylan. How are you?
Doing well, Charles.
Hello,
The real question is, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Unfortunately, I didn't get the job. I called Stefan. I got in contact with Stefan, and he said he gave the position to somebody else. But if something happens, if something opens up, they will let me know. They will give me another interview. So,
I was just gonna say, Charles, did they say why you didn't get the job? Were they specific?
no, they gave it to somebody else. They didn't say anything. They didn't say anything like they said, "I'm sorry, we gave the job to somebody else. If anything opens up, we'll let you know."
How did that make you feel? Because rejection sometimes isn't always great.
I mean, I was hoping I'd get the job, but it is what it is. You know, they like my personality, but you know that doesn't automatically mean I'm going to get hired right away. So,
yeah, they could have hired somebody with experience. You never know. That happens. So, as long as you don't take it as a deterrent and you just keep applying,
I'm not taking
and
it as a deterrent at all. I'm not
get
taking
back
that
on the
away.
horse.
J-O-B, job, job, job. Yep, I got to get a job.
Well, it's manifested. Let's go. J-O-B, job, job, job.
J-O-B, job, job, job.
Let's go. I need some enthusiasm. Come on. You want a job?
J-O-B, job, job, job.
Let's go. One more time.
J-O-B, job, job, job.
Hell yeah. Let's go, Charles. You put yourself out there. You had a good interview. You know, they'll keep you in mind for another position. This is progress. Let's go.
Yep. I may probably apply to Applebee's, but who knows? Hopefully their jobs are opening. So
here's what you do. You apply for a job at Applebee's. They say, "Oh, you're looking for other jobs?" Yeah, you know, I had an interview with Chili's the other day. They seem very interested. We're going to leverage Applebee's versus Chili's here with a fake offer from Chili's. Boom, Applebee's is going to be so convinced they need to hire you.
Yeah, you can always tell jobs, whether it's true or not, that you have other potential leads on jobs, maybe not necessarily full offers, but yeah, just say, "Hey, I'm in talks with Chili's right now, and it looks like things are going in the right direction. So I might not be looking for a job in a couple weeks," and just kind of put the onus on them to, you know, take the initiative with you.
Keep that in mind.
Let's go, Charles.
Did you do what Jake asked you to do yesterday? I forget what Jake asked you to do yesterday, but did you do it?
Yeah, I contacted him, and I contacted him again today.
Oh, good.
Gary writes in, I bet they have some good-looking girls, some lovely ladies, you might say, at Applebee's.
From what I've seen, yes, they do.
I was going to say Charles has been there, so he would know.
Where does Applebee's rank in the Gorman power rankings of food you're going to eat?
That's a good question.
That's why I asked it. It's almost like I'm a paid talk show host.
That's a very good question. My number one favorite restaurant growing up was Charlie Brown's in Metuchen, but that went out of business.
What about Friendly's?
Is there any bias there because it's Charlie's and your name is Charles?
Good point.
No, it's not related, no. I love Friendly's, yes. I love the Rio. I love Rocco's. I love Pino's. A lot of places that I like. I tried Wingstop today for lunch. That was good.
Shocking. Okay.
You like Wingstop? I'm surprised.
I tried it for the first time. It wasn't too bad.
Did you get boneless wings? Because I hear at Wingstop you're supposed to get boneless wings, and if you tell me to get boneless wings at a wing place, it's not a wing place. It's just a nugget place. So
they sell boneless and bone. They sell chicken sandwiches. They sell chicken tenders.
What did you get though? Did you get bone in or boneless?
I got boneless wings, 6, and French fries, and it was very good.
Okay. I'm a bone-in guy. Pause,
I like bone-in too.
Jesus.
Castaway Jet says, Charles, you can apply as an oil rig scuba diver.
I'll pass on that. Thank you.
You sure?
Would you be interested in any of like the trades, Charles? Like learning a trade, becoming an apprentice in like plumbing or electrical or?
Not really, no.
No, that's not your gig. I didn't.
Not
I
my
work
gig,
in construction, so I had to ask because that's all I really know.
No problem, man.
What about Costco? Can we get back to that?
I haven't. They haven't gotten back to me.
Why don't you go in there and see if you could talk to someone person to person? You're in there anyway. You're there every other day anyway.
I was thinking of that doing point over the weekend, but thanks for the heads. Thanks for reminding.
Every time I suggest something, it's like, oh yeah, I was thinking about doing that, but then you don't do it. So it's like that's why you're unemployed. I've been giving you job suggestions for 2 months. This has been a running bit on the show. Longer.
Are you still confident you're going to get a job before Bobby Midnight?
Is this really a contest?
It can be.
You
need to be financially motivated.
We haven't put odds on it yet in the Discord.
We will. We will. Someone come up with odds. Who gets a job first, Bobby or Gorman? And we'll start taking bets.
I was gonna say I'm trustworthy with the money. If Asmaniacs want to send it to me, and I'll hold the money.
J-O-B, job.
I think right now you would have better odds than Bobby to land the job. I think there's a lot of obstacles Bobby has to jump through, and quite frankly, it looks like your biggest obstacle right now is just you and the volume of applications you're putting out.
Gary writes in, this is the issue. We give him the blueprint and he doesn't execute. It's frustrating.
Gary, we might need you on this call here.
Women need to vacuum and shouldn't be allowed to vote.
That new intro is boss. We used to have a friendlies on East Meadow by Hofstra on Hempstead Turnpike. I don't know if it's still there, but I wouldn't apply there. All the waitresses were chicks, and they were all at least a 7. We used to go there just to flirt with the waitresses when I was at Hofstra. Like, I don't know if they're interested in hiring
that worked at the one in Metuchen, so
I don't know anything about. The only one I know about was the one on East Meadow. And Friendlies is interesting because the food is horrible, but the ice cream is boss.
I love Friendlies.
I disagree with the food. I think the food is excellent.
The food is great. Really? I'm with Charles. The food is good. I love Friendlies.
I love the ice cream. The food, the food was like compared to Applebee's or Fridays. I put a last.
What about Fridays, Charles? Is there a Fridays near you?
That I don't know. I'll have to look that up, but
I'm going to have to get your address from Jake. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but there's got to be places in walking distance for you.
Do you have your email address, Dylan?
Yeah, I do. I can send it to you. I'll put it in the chat and you can email me. Cuz I don't you can't be taking Uber to work. That's going to kill you and your paychecks are going to be nothing. For what you're going to be working, it's just not going to be worth it. You got to walk or shout out Nate Dogg. You got to invest in an e-bike or something.
Best Custom Kick says, Charles, do you have any artist ability? I'm looking to hire someone, but have to have an artist ability.
I'm not a good artist. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the other one either. I don't know if Charles wants to work long hours.
Do you want to fight? I can get you a fight, Charles. We'll get you a license. You want to fight? How much do you weigh? I'll get you in the ring.
I just lost about 4 or 5 pounds. I'm like 156, 155.
Oh, we can get down to 154. That's my weight class. You want to fight me?
What?
I'm 154. That's what I fought at. I don't know if I can still get down to 154, but you want to fight me? 4 rounds?
J-O-B, job. I don't want to fight anybody.
All right. Well, I can't help you out much then. But did you rehearse the lines, the interview questions? You memorize the answers and rehearse?
Yes, I did. I did that properly. Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Why do you want to work at Chili's?
Because I love being around people. I like to work.
But this is not the answer that we rehearsed. This was not the AI answer that we rehearsed. Look, I'm not trying. I'm not trying to be a jerk to you, but like, it's a huge change.
Well, I don't want to work with Chili's. I like to being social. I like being around others. I like being a team player, and I also want to learn what it's like to work in a restaurant.
It's not a terrible answer. That's not terrible. That's not bad. It's a good answer.
I think he interviewed well. It's a good answer. Yeah, I think he interviewed well from what we know about it. They maybe just went with someone else, but there's high turnover in any restaurant that is a chain like Chili's. So keep following up every couple of weeks. Apply to Applebee's, apply to Fridays, Friendlies. Like, you got to just keep doing. If you don't apply for at least 1 to 2 jobs every day, you failed. Your job right now, your full-time job, Charles, is trying to get a full-time job. You need to treat it like that.
And I think
who
Jake
knows?
gives you good advice in that interviews with Applebee's. I would definitely mention the interview with Chili's.
Yeah, say
For a
you're
number of reasons.
interviewing
I think
for
that's
other
good advice.
positions. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't come across desperate either, because if they know that that's your only source of a job lead, then they're not going to really, care to bring you on. If you look like you're desirable in the workforce, it goes a long way.
What about Dunkin' Donuts? Is there Dunkin' Donuts near you, Charles?
Yes, there's one near Our Lady of Peace Church in Ford/Edison area.
Do you live in New Jersey or New York, Charles? Sorry.
I live in New Jersey. I'm a New Jersey kid. I'm a Jersey boy.
Have you thought about pumping gas?
Not interested in that.
Okay.
You don't
It's an
pump your
easy job,
gas?
and you could potentially earn tips, is why.
Yeah, you're outside, you're earning tips. Like I get it's not the most, desirable job in the world. I get it, right? I get it. But you're gonna make some, and it's cash. You don't have to declare it.
And to be honest, if you're working in a little gas station booth and you're just pumping gas here and there, you can easily have Jake's show on in your ear at both the 10 o'clock and the 4 o'clock hour. So you can still be part of the show if you're a gas attendant working inside might not work.
They have a host position in the Woodbridge Mall one for Applebee's.
Okay. Is that in a distance for you to get there reasonably, or would you have to pay money to get there?
I would have to take Uber to get there, yes.
Well, it's better than
like
nothing.
Uber
Just still apply.
Yeah, but what about an e-bike? Is there any can you ride a bike, Charles?
Of course I can. I haven't rode a bike in years, but I can ride a bike.
I don't want to say of course on anything. I don't want to assume anything. You know what happens. But if you could ride a bike or get an e-bike, that would help you a lot too. Like my dad doesn't have a license, but he has a bike and he goes all over Raritan, Somerville, Bridgewater on his damn bike.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
This was just sent to me. This apparently was taken during Charles' interview at Chili's. Maybe this is why you didn't get the gig. You sat on a toilet and squatty potty while interviewing for the job.
I did not do that. No, that's
And you're
bullshit.
eating butter?
And what did you wear to the interview? What did you wear to the interview?
A polo shirt and khaki pants.
He looked really clean. All
All right, that's fair. I think
shaving
I
is
think
really
you handled
good,
the interview
too.
well, which is why they said
I don't
they'll
eat
keep
butter.
him.
I mean, I love
would
butter, but I
follow
don't
up
eat
with him.
butter by itself.
You should.
I'll pass on that, Gary. Thank you.
All right. I eat butter by the stick, and I can still make 154.
God bless
Gary,
you, man.
Thank you. This is what Charles wore to the interview, by the way. I thought he looked good.
No, he looked very spiffy.
Thank you.
All right, Charles. Well, you just have to start. You have to keep applying. Like you went through the interview process. You followed up. They gave you an answer. So that means you can now keep moving forward.
Yeah, apply to Applebee's in the mall right now. Do it up.
I'm doing it right
never
now,
know.
actually, while I'm talking to you guys.
All right. You call us back when you're done. All right.
No problem, man. Thank you. J-O-B, job.
Yes.
I'm rooting, man. I'm rooting so hard for him to get a job.
It's like
I want
rooting
to
for
make it
another
happen
team.
for him.
It's like I root for the Jets and for Charles Gorman now. Unbelievable.
I don't like asking what's going to win first, Charles getting a job or the Jets. But we're getting there. Players report next week, Charles. Come on.
We can set odds on, does Charles have a job before the Jets get their first win of the season? It's too easy to say before week 1.
Yeah, don't do preseason because the odds would heavily be against Charles.
Speaking of preseason, get your tickets. Watch party just announced. They're going to promote the living hell out of it because it's going to be an amazing night. T-Squared Social, August 16th, the party of summer. Charles Gorman maybe will be there. Maybe. I might not let him there unless he gets a job first. We'll find out. But it's coming down, baby. It was a blast last year. It'll be a great time this year. Please buy your ticket and do so in the description box. Click the link. Let's see. This super chat was from Kyle. I just want to acknowledge it. Thank you, Kyle. Once upon a time, I'd take my shirt off on the show, Artie. At this point, I like Jake too much to have the 5% running for the hills. I think people would love a topless Kyle Clifton. Maybe a nice jump into a pool. Maybe.
We've seen Beast shirtless, so I don't think we can really go worse.
Hey, Beast,
Maybe I'm
you
wrong,
there?
but
Beast?
I'm already preparing to form a dangerous alliance. And I know who I'm going to get to the top 5.
Wait, Beast, before you give us the dangerous...
now.
I just wanted to ask you if you think Kyle Clifton should go shirtless.
Yes or no questions are not
on
easy.
everybody.
God.
We learned this with the chess question. If all he said was at 13 I learned, and then just went off.
He's talking about forming a dangerous alliance. I don't understand. This is all because he doesn't like the fact that people think he went to Hogwarts. That's where this all started.
No, the game's over. The war has just begun, and I'm preparing to fight. You've already pissed me up to the brink. Now the pain is coming.
Beast, I sent you a pennant today. You can't be.
I understand that, but when you go too far and you already unleash boundaries, there comes time to just say there are limits. There are boundaries.
What was too
and
far?
when you
What
step on
are you
boundaries,
specifically
it's
mad
too
about?
far.
The chicken open that Gator made?
No, I'm not talking that. Oh, let's see. The Harry Potter this, making me look like Princess whatever. That looked like shit on a stick. And then it's abracadooble garbage. And then the other abracadoodle. This ain't a game no more. Now the fun is gone. See, I just had chicken. Chicken.
He said he liked it. He did say that.
He did.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't like what I did with the T-shirt.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the T-shirt. But the T-shirt, like that's great. Beast doesn't want to acknowledge his Hogwarts history. It's fine. I'm a Harry Potter fan.
On camera. That's just what happened.
JoJo checks in. Shout out to JoJo. JoJo, would you like to see Kyle Clifton jump in a pool? You're a member of the 4.5%. I love Duncan. How about customer service support work? You work from home and you get training. Charles, have you considered customer service support work? JoJo with a good suggestion there. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
sending this.
Any type of remote or hybrid remote work would probably be up Charles' alley because we know he's able to use a computer. He can take a call sheet and call some names and ask if they're interested in whatever product they're selling. As long as he learns the pitch, which we're trying to hammer home with these questions for the interview. So hopefully that would help him in that job. But yeah, that's a good suggestion, JoJo.
All right, rapid fire through some calls. A lot of you on hold. Appreciate all of you tuning in.
Purple belt Mike, he loves the Dark Knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
I'm on mute. Here we go. What up?
Hello, Mike.
What's happening? Tuesday with Mike at 8 p.m. Love it. Yeah, you already know.
What are we discussing on the show this week?
So the progress that I've made, I went to jiu-jitsu this morning to spectate to see the guys. So I'm just going to talk about, that and how I progressed and some setbacks, stuff like that.
What was it like going to the jiu-jitsu and watching? Because I remember I broke my arm when I was like 7, so it was like 2nd or 3rd grade. And going to gym class with a cast on my arm from my bicep to my thumb was like the worst mental pain. So what was it like sitting in jiu-jitsu watching all your, I don't know what they're called, fellow members doing it?
It sucked.
Right.
It was terrible. Yeah. So that's it. It was. I'm not gonna say it's terrible. It hurt watching it, but the amount of love that I got from everybody was good. So it's like a double-edged sword, I guess, because I got a lot of love from everybody and support, and then not being out there hurt. So
yeah,
there's like
you feel more motivated to get out there though.
Yeah, I'm also going to talk about some plans that I got and what I'm going to do and whatever. But I'm not
I
going
like
to do
that shirt, Mike, or that sweatshirt, whatever.
I was just gonna say that's such a tough shirt.
It's a t-shirt. Yeah, I got it on sale. Believe it or not, on the Jets website, this was like not even $20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's really good.
What do you think of Gorman? Is he going to get a job?
Yeah. So Gorman, man, you got to keep applying. Don't. Everyone's been denied a job before, so don't let it get you down. You just got to keep firing away. Shoot those resumes out.
Thank you.
So Jake, I know you're big into MMA. Did you watch the video of Ben Askren that he put out today?
No, someone just sent it to me, and I haven't seen. I literally have it bookmarked to watch after the show.
So if anyone wants to see a powerful video, and you know, you want just some powerfulness. Long story short, Ben Askren, he basically got pneumonia, but the worst case possible, where both his lungs shut down. So he was on a ventilator, basically in a coma for over a month, and his insurance denied him a lung transplant. So he was basically going to die. So Jake Paul, of all people, stepped up and pledged 500 grand to get it done. So his money plus whoever else chipped in got it done and saved his life.
Wow.
So now it's a month and a half later. He's 50 pounds lighter. He looks like shit, but it's the first time he's speaking. It's just very powerful. If you want some motivation, you should watch that. Just type in Ben Askren on YouTube or X or Instagram. It's pretty uplifting. It's sad, but it's uplifting. And you definitely gotta, even if you're not an MMA fan, just check it out because it puts the world in perspective, man. Nothing could be that bad that you're gonna die. So as bad as something's happening, the world's not that bad. You know, there's a hospital full of people that wish they had your problem. So my ACL is no big deal, and whatever problem you're going through, it's not as bad. There's always someone who has it worse. So
Appreciate it, Mike.
Well said.
Well said. Good job by Jake Paul. I didn't even realize it was him. I mean, Jake Paul famously knocked him out in like one of their fights when Jake Paul was starting to become a boxer. Yeah. So good job by Jake Paul. I actually interviewed Jake Paul on my radio show when I was in Houston several years ago. He was starting to get into boxing, and he was cool. So like I have nothing but positive experiences with him.
Yeah. He's definitely polarizing, but I mean, if you don't know the guy, then it's hard to judge.
Yeah. Well, he's playing a character too. You know, he's marketing himself for these fights.
I was going to say, there's always the element of that with any famous celebrity person. Like, there's always that they got to go back into character mode with it. So,
ladies and gentlemen, I know what we need right now. We need a healthy dosage of the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Breece Hall. That's good. Hi.
Hello, Lane.
Hi.
Hey, Lane.
So, how is everything?
Good, Lane. How are you?
Good.
What's that beeping, Lane? Is your house on fire?
No. No.
Are you sure?
No.
You're not sure?
Yes, I am sorry. Just the alarm system.
Is it the mailman delivering your bikinis?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
What happened, really?
What's this deal with bikinis, Lane? Why do you want bikinis so bad?
Because I like girls.
So why do you? What? Well done, Lane. Can you turn the TV off? It is so loud.
Yeah. Okay. 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 It's off now.
Turn it off.
It's off. Get it. TV's off now.
Okay.
Okay.
Now tell us more about these bikinis.
No, because I heard that they went to Florida for some reason.
I don't think they were ever sent to you, Lane.
No.
Peter Castro wants to know, do you like high heels?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
You don't know. Lane, have you heard of the website Amazon?
Yeah.
Why don't you just buy a bikini off there?
I don't know.
Is the bikini for you to wear or just enjoy,
Just
like
to
looking at?
Just to look at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if the person, but if it's just a bikini, Lane, what are you getting out of it?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you want a lovely lady, to quote Charles Gorman, to be wearing said bikini?
I like that song, actually.
Which song?
When Charles is singing it, actually, it's pretty funny. So the real reason why I wanted to call was, I heard he did not get the job.
Well, he said it on the show.
Yeah, I mean, so because he didn't get the job, I hear that he might not want to work at a gas station. You know?
Well, why don't you ask him yourself? Charles joins us now. Hey, Charles.
Yeah, can I say hi to
Yeah,
Charles?
I'm not going to work
Hi,
on a gas
Charles.
station. I know I'll be interacting with other people, but working on a gas station isn't exactly my cup of tea. I know it's a.
Charles, are you underwater?
No, that's fine, sir.
Yeah,
Whose
I'm
audio
trying to
is that?
talk to him.
Lane, sit in one spot.
No disrespect to those who work at a gas station, but it's not exactly my ideal spot for me to work. I mean, I know it's a very important job. I know it's a very big deal, but I'm not exactly like, it's not like something I exactly have a desire to work there. You know, like I just applied to the Applebee's in the Woodbridge Mall for a host position.
Okay.
Gave him a copy of my resume. J-O-B, job. You don't have to keep playing that, but I get why. Gotta get views, I guess. I mean,
Charles, do we think at this point we have the leniency and the maneuverability to be, picky about these jobs, or we got to just apply? And even if the shitty ones bite on the hook,
I'm not going to apply to every single job you could think of. No, I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not saying that either. Like, I'm not saying go be a ditch digger or anything like that. Although that would be a good job for you.
Peter Castro says, "How about a cleaning lady position?"
Or be like Peter Griffin from that episode of Family Guy.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. I get involved with lady. Turn around. No. I put finger in mouth. No.
Whoa. Freakies need to be calmed down.
J-O-B, job. Yes, I do need a job, and I definitely just applied for one.
What do you think of Lane's obsession with bikinis?
Well, at least he's not going panty raiding. I mean, at least he's not doing that. At least he's, we all have our obsessions. We all have our fetishes. I do
This
think
is just who I wanted to have the fetish conversation with, is Charles and Lane.
I'm sorry, but this is a show after all, and everything has hit the fan. Everything hits the fan here on the show.
I took a call yesterday where I was a therapist, Dylan. Did you see Pork's call?
Yes. Oh, are you talking about pork in the morning?
Oh, yeah. Pork in the morning. All right.
Dude. Pour one out for that guy.
Love Pork.
He's a great guy. Like, it's just, that was a lot. That was a lot of trauma. That was a lot of trauma dumping on Jake for one day.
You're a divorcee, right, Dylan? You've talked about that.
I am a man of divorce, yes.
People think Dylan's like 18, but Dylan is not. He's been married and divorced. Lane, once again, are you underwater? What are we doing here with the audio?
It's Lane, man. Lane's got something going on.
Lane, what's going on?
I mean, not to wear. I'm just gonna look at it. That's why.
Lane's still on the bikinis. Anyway, the point I was going to make to Dylan is, Dylan, what do you think Pork should do? Should he get back with his ex-wife?
Listening to the way he was talking about it, it sounds like that's probably in their best interest. I don't know the toxicity levels of their marriage. Only dating for 1 month before getting married was a little
that was a little weird,
in my opinion. I was with my ex-wife for 4 years before we got married, and then we spent about 4.5 married. So like we had a good amount of time leading up to the marriage as well. A month is kind of quick. But it just seemed like a lot of things were happening all at once in Pork's life, where the marriage just kind of got out of hand for whatever reason. I'm sure the drinking did play into that, but I would say he probably wants to be back with her, and that's probably the best course of action. Although it is fun to listen to his dating stories and ask if he porked in the morning.
Charles, your thoughts?
I don't really have much to add. I'm not really well experienced with divorce. I mean, I've only been in one relationship on and off.
I'm getting killed in the comments, Jake. Thank you.
You are?
Yeah, they're like, oh, Dylan was married at 12? Yes, right out of middle school, we eloped.
Did you propose with a ring pop?
No. I spent. There was a comma in the price tag of the ring that I bought, so
nice.
I had grown men money at that point. sort of. I was still like 22. But Charles, what happened to this on and off relationship? Didn't culminate in
Didn't
anything?
work out. Was toxic. Mother was too domineering. The girl wasn't
Your
as
mom
well
or her mom?
Her mom.
Okay.
And she wasn't as high functioning as me.
Oh, so she wasn't as submissive as you would have liked. I get it.
Yeah. I said high functioning. I didn't say submissive.
I said submissive and you said yes.
I'm sorry. I meant no. She wasn't.
Hold on. I'm going to do the old switcheroo.
Abracadabra.
Come on. Can we stop with this?
I think Charles just said it correctly. Right on the goddamn button. The dangerous.
Look, I'm a Harry Potter fan, but this is just making me look bad.
What, that you're a Harry Potter fan?
No, it's making me, as a Harry Potter fan, look bad that you're constantly trolling him that he was a part of Hogwarts.
I mean, if people have video of him at Hogwarts, Charles, we're not supposed to
It's
play
garbage. Look, it's trollish nonsense by Dixon Yass and all these other people. You think I was born yesterday?
Whoa. There's a family show. Don't be talking about Dixon ass or whatever you just said there.
I said Dixon Yass.
Calm your freaky down.
ASS. There's a YouTuber that goes by that name. I'm not an idiot.
I'm seeing a resemblance in these two here. Like if Gorman had no facial hair,
I'm going to shave
talking
tomorrow,
to his
by the
dad
way.
right now.
Beast, look, I know you're angry, buddy, and you have every right to be angry. But calm down, buddy.
There's gonna be blood. There's gonna be war. You can expect a violent bloodbath.
Rejected. Sorry.
All right, let's be honest. There's not going to be any blood or war with Beast. We just like watching him yell and get mad.
But
that drop play, by the way, I'm hearing it in my ear
Yes,
now.
we heard rejected. Yeah,
okay.
we got it.
All right. Nothing's working on my end right now.
Gorman,
Charles.
what do you make of this? I mean, this is Beast and Barbarossa smoking in Dumbledore's office. Like, this is clear as day.
That's not them. That's AI edited. I'm not an idiot.
No, man. How could that be? They don't have AI at Hogwarts.
They have some illusion shit. Hallucination shit.
Charles, give me a little Expecto Patrono right now.
Expecto Patrona.
You have a fork, you got a knife, give me a wand.
What would your Patronus be, Charles? What animal? Choose wisely.
A moose.
We know Beast is a guinea pig.
A moose.
A moose? That's a great one. Great answer, Charles.
Where's your wand, Charles?
Expecto Patrona.
That's too aggressive. You gotta move fluently.
Expecto Patrona, mother.
I don't think they said that in Harry Potter.
Well,
Charles, thank you for your time. Go apply for more jobs.
Excuse me.
I think that played. All right. We back?
Beast called me an asshole. My feelings are hurt.
He also wrote, World War III is coming with a bad storm.
There is a storm in Chicago going on. I saw on social media. Hopefully you're okay, Beast.
Beast, is it raining in Chicago?
It's sunny. But don't be surprised. Get ready for it. World War III is coming your way.
The best part about that drop is that's supposed to be a motorboat sound, and he's playing frets on a guitar.
Beast being Beast. I think a lot of us need Jesus after some of these calls today. Jets Jesus is next. Hello, Jets Jesus.
Hey, what's going on? I'll get my phone set up properly. There we go. Been a fun one.
I take no responsibility.
Yeah. The t-shirt had nothing to do with it at all. Yeah, me and PBM were trying to calm Beast down in the chat, and when you guys were going back to him, I was like, "Oh man, now is not the perfect time." I don't know if now is not the time, or maybe the perfect time.
Jake has a meter. Nobody sees it backstage, but Jake has this little meter that's green, yellow, and red, and he knows when Beast's on red, and he knows to put him right on. Jake
Yeah,
does
okay.
this strategically. He knows.
All right, like he always wants to go back on the show. You know, he says he's leaving, and then he called right back in. So if he's sitting in the green
we
room,
called it. We said he
Yeah.
was going to
Oh,
call
yeah.
right back in.
Beast,
I was
you
gonna
want
say, I
back on
think-
the
I
show? You're still here. Like I go to people who are on hold. Like Beast is now here. Hey, Beast.
You've already opened Pandora's box. It's black, it's cold, and you're not gonna get out of this one. No escape. World War III's coming, and don't be surprised. I just had chicken. Chicken.
And there it is. I can't believe Gorman doesn't want to work at a gas station. I feel like it's like he's super personable. I feel like it's perfect for him.
It's easy too, right? Like
you ask 3 questions: what kind of gas, cash or card. Sometimes you have to ask for their zip code, and then you just plug it in and go.
gas
Charles should be
station
good at-
pizza he can have, and we know he loves to just rip gas. So now he can work with gas.
He can
Actually,
literally fill
we
up a
may
car
not want
with
him
his
around
ass.
anything explosive. That may be a factor.
Yeah, it might be a biohazard of him working at a gas station. That would be the only thing that would derail him not working at one, though. He should reconsider that.
Yeah, and to Jake's point, like the food, sometimes there's like a Burger King or a Subway attached to the gas stations, at least some of the ones that I've worked at in my, teen years. Like you could get a discount at those places, So like you're now eating half off. Like when I was a kid, I always tried to work at a place that offered food because now you have free food at your job too. So you're getting paid and you're getting food. Like it's just the easiest thing.
Yeah, I worked at a pizza place, like Italian food restaurant place, and they gave me 1 raise because they promised me if like all went smooth after like a month, I'd get like $1 raise. They gave me the $1 raise, and they were like, "You eat so much, you will never get another raise again." And I was like, "That's fair. I'm a delivery guy. I work on tips."
Yeah, I was told at my pizza job that I was only allowed to eat plain or pepperoni slices because I always went for like the sausage, pepper, and onions and the meat lovers. And they're like, dude, you can't have 4 slices of pizza in your 4-hour shift. And I'm like, hey man, it's right there in front of me. So yeah, I get that too.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. I could basically eat unlimited, and I grew up cooking with both of my grandmothers, and so I quickly made friends with the cook there. And so he was like, "I'll teach you how to cook whatever you want to cook," and I was doing like kitchen prep and that type of stuff. So I worked pretty close with him. We made food all the time. He would take breaks, and I'd cook I'd cook meals that were going out and stuff. So that was a fun job.
It's an important skill to learn too. Like Gorman has an air fryer that's just collecting dust in his house. Like if you had a job in a restaurant, you could at least be around people and through osmosis learn how to cook your own food. So
yeah, I saw the chat was talking dishwasher. I think that'd be good for him. Some time hanging out in the kitchen, and yeah, learning how to cook, and also like the banter in the kitchen. Beast would not do well at the banter in the kitchen, but Gorman I think could hang all right.
They won't get under Gorman's skin, but you say one wrong thing to Beast, and all of a sudden you got the World War III storm hanging over your head.
Yeah, and I think it's good that Gorman's firing off a lot of a lot of applications. It's super important. Like in my field, I definitely go through stretches of not working or only having a little bit of freelance, and it's like, yeah, I end up having to spend so much of my days during those times, like just applying for jobs, like trying to pitch new work, like et cetera, et cetera. Like it's a numbers game is really what it ends up coming down to.
For sure.
Jets Jesus, excellent call. Way to get us back on track.
Right on.
I knew you would. He's in the
Jesus
raffle
saved the
for
show.
one. He did. That's what Jesus Christ, Jets Jesus does.
Now
Sack
we need him to
exchange
save the
photo.
Jets.
Please fix our franchise. Our football team needs you, Jets Jesus. This right here is what you can win at the end of the show. For those tuning in late, we did our AsmanJake raffle, number 31 on our first show today. So now we're on to raffle 32. Here are 3 of the weekly prizes for next week: a signed Bill Parcells helmet, signed Aaron Glenn helmet, and a signed Rex Ryan helmet. We'll add more as we go. Appreciate all of you supporting the show. Papa Jet, who won a signed Wayne Corbett, Santana Moss, and Lavernius Cole's photo, is on the line for the 2nd day in a row. Hello, Papa Jet. And by the way, your photo was officially mailed, so it should be there early next week.
Awesome. You guys got me, right?
Absolutely.
We got you, Papa.
Congrats
Okay,
on the big win.
Thank you. First time being outside calling, Jake, so I don't know how it's going to go. Hey, as far as, Beast being the global enforcer and World War III and blood and all that, he's that until Beasley or a scale gets mentioned. I thought Beasley came back into the chat. He hightailed it so fast, but I guess somebody mentioned the scale, I guess. You don't want to get on the scale. But anyways, Jake, what did you have for just early predictions for wins, like round 5 or 6?
I'm at 6 right now.
DT, where are you at?
I'm at a 7.5. Like, I'm not fully at 8, but I'm not, dead set on 7. So I put it at 7.5.
I'm at 11. I'm with Peter and Ryan.
11. Inject that into my veins. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Peter,
We're the
Ryan,
freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
We're either going to be the 3 Musketeers or 3 blind mice, I guess. But the reason why I just have a feeling, how at the start of the year they have strength of schedule, and this team's got the easiest, this team's got the hardest, and then some team. I'm on the air, hon.
Tell Mama Jet we say hello.
I'm on the air unless you want to.
Hi, Mama
There
Jet.
she is. 2 days in a row, or 2 times in a row, Jake.
I'm
but
putting
anyway,
her in the raffle too.
Mama
She's
Jet
getting a
wanted to
ticket.
get in the raffle. I was just going to say, she saw you win a prize and now she wants to win one too.
There you go. But anyways, but you know how they got the strength of schedules, but by the time the end of the year comes, whatever teams had the easiest and hardest, those statements ain't true anymore,
Yeah.
There's always teams that take a crap and there's always teams that surprise. And my feeling is the Jets are going to surprise this year.
I think they're going to surprise as well. I don't know if it's going to be in the win column. I think it's more going to be in individual performances and coaching acumen where we feel a little bit like surprised or like they exceeded expectations in certain places. So I don't know if it's going to result in wins, but I do think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with a lot of the growth we see in the team.
Yeah. Well, obviously for 11 wins, a lot of stuff's got to go right. Glenn's got to be the coach we think he's going to be. Injuries, right? Because some of our positions, the depth, but I'm sticking with it. I'm going 11-6, and we'll see what happens.
Papa, from your lips to God's ears, 11-6 would be euphoric. I mean, this team has not won more than 7 in a decade. 11. Please.
That'd be great. I honestly, a lot of the times I say 7.5 because then that would mean 9.5 losses. Because I just don't want to say they're gonna lose double-digit games. Like it hurts. Like 10 is such a shitty number to see in the loss column.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's some housekeeping that needs to be done. 6 Rings has entered the chat. He thinks the Jets are going to win 4 games. Yesterday, Frank P paid in advance to send 6 Rings to the hole. So 6 Rings, your day is done.
Now look what you've done, 6 Rings. You fake patch fraud. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut you off and cast you out with the sodomites. Some time in here will make you feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Now that is how you put bitches in check. Lights out, Patriots 12. Good night. Adios. Sayonara. Arrivederci. Ding dong day.
Rejected. Sorry.
I wonder how many people thought that was pre-recorded. That was live, baby. Beast back in character immediately.
And what was that last one? What was that last translation there, Beast? I'm not quite sure that was suitable for air.
I don't know what he said. Never really did.
Well, we could go back and discuss it later. That was
also
borderline. Beast. He said some questionable things on this show before, but that one was bad.
Frank says, thanks, Jake. Frank, thank you. You're the man, Frank. And I hope you saw my announcement earlier. Middle of the show, I got an email that the Namath helmet that you won on the show this morning is expected to be delivered by Thursday. or actually now Wednesday, July 16th, Frank, your signed Broadway Joe Namath helmet will arrive. And surprise, it's coming with a deluxe case to put it on display. So thanks again for all your support, Frank. And Frank deserves all the love from this community. Because guess what?
Yeah.
He's keeping 6 rings away from us, which I love.
I was going to say, I love Frank P for his contributions in the sending 6 rings to the hole. It's amazing. 6 rings has found my live streams, and I put it on subscriber only mode, so I appreciate you subscribing. But gosh, we got to find you a Patriots show.
They stink. 6 rings. Just I can't even say be a Jet figures. You wear Dolphins gear too. Just, I don't know. Be better. 6 rings. Ladies and gentlemen, David T. time.
I've got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
Hi guys.
David.
Hey, Dylan, yeah.
Ooh, look at that shirt, David T. We don't normally get that angle. What a shirt.
Oh yeah, I gotta cover up my old guy chest. Yeah. I like the Hawaiian shirts and all that kind
This
of
man
stuff.
is ready for Tampa Bay, Jake.
The bucket hats look so good, David. I can't wait to see it in person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I am so ready for the Tampa game, and we're working our way through. We're saving money, and I always hear about people on Jake's show, looking to come, or they're already locked in and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be really, really cool. And Dylan, the game is on my birthday.
Yes, it's a couple days after Jake's birthday, and it's on your
Yep.
birthday. That's even better. We get a twofer in the Asmaniac community. It's great.
September is a great month.
Yep. And the Jets are getting a little bit of help with the potential of Tristan Wirfs not playing with his knee injury, and then Chris Godwin, who's nursing his broken ankle from last year. So the Jets might be receiving a bit of a, injury bug boost on their side, which you never want to root for, but when it happens, it's always important to note.
Yeah, it's funny because my family down here, they're all Tampa fans, and we're already razzing each other, and I know on Jake's show, whatever stuff that you get. If I get them like Tampa stuff, if you see me, it's not, don't hold that against me,
David,
But anyway,
we can't wait, baby.
Yeah, I know. I'm so looking forward to it. As far as Charles goes, I bet you if Charles was down here in Florida, I could help him get a job. He just needs a little more confidence in himself, not to sell himself, just to be himself, be a pain in the ass to the people. And there's so many different things. Like nobody had mentioned Walmart as a greeter. There's so much, because I had worked for Walmart for like 3.5 years, and there's so many jobs that I know Charles could do. And
J-O-B, job.
yeah, he just if he just keeps plugging, have confidence in himself, being a pain in the ass, he'll land up in a job.
Ladies and gentlemen, sage advice from the great David T.
J-O-B, job.
We hope Gorman will get a job.
Dude, there's got to be a Walmart close by, right? Like that was a great, piece of advice from David T. A Walmart greeter. I mean, they're always hiring. Just not to do register jobs. They always have 36 registers and only 4 of them are open.
All right, home stretch here, Dylan. If you got to go, feel free, man. I always hate taking up this much time, but with you, you're kind of like beyond. Just
the only thing that's gonna stop me from finishing out this call is I'm looking at a big dark cloud moving in, so it might knock my power out. But other than that, I'm in it for the long haul. I want to see who wins the raffle prize. I hang out anyway backstage. I might as well give my opinions on some of these calls.
It's true. I have a dinner reservation at 8, so that's the only thing stopping this show tonight.
Ooh, sushi with another lovely lady?
No, not sushi, but there is sushi on the menu that's very good.
With a
But it's not
lovely
sushi.
lady.
There might be plural
Oh, okay.
lovely ladies.
Okay.
It's
not a date. Is basically what we're getting at.
They're calling it Charles Gorman's Fantasy.
Yep.
Multiple
where's this dinner
lovely
taking place?
Well, I don't want to say it aloud, and then Gorman's going to show up.
Tell me backstage, and I'll fly up.
I'll let you know. Yep. We'll send the private plane for you. Also, I'm worried about Lane now crashing this thing, trying to get bikinis from these random ladies.
If you're really pretty and you have a bikini, send it to me. If you're kind of pretty and have some old underwear, send it to me. If you don't have a bikini and you can buy one at Walmart, please wear it for a week and send it to me.
Oh my God. Do you listen to these before you put them on? That's so funny. Wear it for a week and send it to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in now with someone who can make sense of what has happened today. Indy Jets is next. Hello, Indy.
Well, hey, Jake. Hey, Dylan.
What's up?
Yeah,
Hey, Big Joe.
Dylan.
Gator says, I think
Dylan.
Big Joe might need an intro.
Yeah, it's nice. I like my recliner. No, I just called to check in. I don't like all those.
Well done, Indy.
Indy Joe,
Yeah, we've got some dark clouds here, so, I'm just kind of chilling. I'm hoping my power stays on, because if it goes out, I guess I'm going to have to just chill in the dark.
Indy Joe.
Because I'm not going to get up and get a flashlight. So let's just hope that the power stays on long enough. So anyway, it's
Indy-
good to see you
Indy
guys.
Joe.
Hope you're all well.
Indy Joe, are you excited about the show coming out next week?
Oh, I just got off the phone with Shania Twain, and she sounds kind of excited. I think she's just chilling too. Yeah.
Big
So
Joe
yeah,
does.
it's just I talked to Big Joe earlier, and he was just chilling. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you, Indy Joe. Great call. Gator says, I think Big Joe might need an intro.
Yeah, it's nice. I like my recliner. No, I just called to check in. I don't like all those wrinkles on my head. I don't have that many wrinkles.
Well, there's a feller they call Charleston Jets rude, 'cause he calls the show nude, never wears a shirt. And some folks, they don't think he's got pants on either. It's a gosh darn nudist camp. Let's hear it for that Charleston Jets rube and see if he has any Jets points today.
Hey, Playboy Jake, I'm impressed, buddy. That's great, man.
That's right.
Make sure you bring some protection, and you're going out in public, so make sure you wear some pants.
That's right. I'm gonna picture Robert Downey Jr. in the first Iron Man. That's gonna be me.
Perfect.
Yep.
DT, I love the irony of you talking about how you made grown man money at 22 years old with Gorman and Beast in the screen with you. I just love that. I just loved that. I was just rolling. I don't think many people caught that, but that was great. I love it.
Man, I feel like a lot of people are similar to me where they had to get a job at 15 or 16. So like by the time I was 22, 23, I was already 7 years into working and it wasn't anything new. So
there you go, man. There you go. You're wise beyond your years there, DT.
I appreciate it.
I got on late, started a new job Tuesday, and it's kind of messing with my live Asman stuff going on, so that kind of sucks. But so if I repeat something, I do apologize. But I think
J-O-B, job.
That's what we want. Let's go, Charleston.
I think we're all in agreement as far as Justin Fields, will be the day one starter in 26. Both you guys, your opinions, because it's going higher. I used to be 10 to 20%. I think I'm more along the lines of 25 to 35%. And it's just because I'm a glass half full guy. And the closer it gets, the more excited I get. But what are the odds that both you guys place on Justin Fields actually being the starter week one because we want him to be the starter week 1, not because we're, letting a young guy learn because we drafted a guy.
20%. Someone asked me this a couple months ago. My answer, I think
Okay.
was 20. I'm staying with it till I see it.
Okay. DT?
I'm muted. 20 to 25% is where I was at too. I was a huge Fields fan in 2021. I wanted him over Zach Wilson. 3 years later, I feel less optimistic about having him, but also excited to a degree. And like you said, as it creeps closer, I get a little bit more excited. But I think me being completely enamored by him and wanting him on the team, it'd probably be about 25%.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's where I was. Like I said, I'm up to 25, 35 now, and I'm sure by the time the season starts, I'll be over 50%. That's just how I am. Last year was so damn disappointing. But as far as Gorman's concerned, he really shouldn't be picky. It's awesome. From what I've taken, I haven't been able to watch the whole show yet, but from what I've taken, he's applied at a lot of different places here recently, which is great. But the thing with Gorman, and he's so limited with the Uber rides having to be cheap or being able to bike or walk. I'm assuming he has a bike. Why doesn't he go on to like LinkedIn and Indeed? There are so many flipping work from home jobs now. Like I've gotten a couple in the last year, and I never even thought to work from home before, but I looked into it, and it's like almost unlimited how many is out there. And most of these companies, it doesn't matter where you live, like literally doesn't matter where you live. So, I mean, has anybody tried helping them with something like that?
I don't know of any online jobs off LinkedIn specifically that people have sent his way. I'm not. He definitely should look into it though, because I'm with you. I mean, if there's a way for him to work from home, that's probably the ideal scenario.
I mean, with LinkedIn,
Yeah,
all he has to do is set up like a profile and basically put in his experience, and you get sent stuff daily. So it's like he wouldn't even have to be proactive about looking. He'd just have to check his email.
What do you
And
think,
a lot of
Beast?
these places have these quick apply where
I
literally
can't
all you
do it
do
no more. No
What's
more.
all
wrong?
you do is attach your email.
I've tried
and it's
helping
good to
Joe
go.
so many ways. I can't do it no more. It's called you can only take so many punches to the skull, so many punches to the gut.
We're trying to get Gorman a job.
What are you talking about, Beast? Why
Yeah, we're
you
not trying to
losing?
give him CTE.
How about we just set up? How about you just set him up for lawn care? Lawn care.
I don't
actually
think he
does-
wants to do outside work, Beast. It seems like he's not really the hands-on type of guy.
Hey, Beast.
You know what?
Beast, for a second here. Hang on, bud. In the chat, I told you because you're getting pretty worked up. Did you take those 10 deep breaths, big through the nose, hold it out through the mouth? You need to do that, buddy. I'm worried about you, man. The last thing I want to see is you have a heart attack on this show.
People on planet Earth. Let me just say, this world's a cold place. You ain't been to where I've been. You haven't been to the 7 gate.
I know there's this persona of you trying to be a badass, Beast, but most people probably have been to more places than you have, buddy. Hate to break your bubble there, buddy. But yeah, anyways, I think that would be a good option for Gorman. I think that would be something that he seems like an actual fairly intelligent guy. Like when he starts taking some jet takes and stuff, like he makes good points and stuff. So I think
He's like Rain Man. He's brilliant.
Yes,
he's a smart
there's an
dude.
element of
So
yeah, there's an element of Charles' brain that would allow him to be successful in certain types of jobs. Yeah, and I think as a
do you guys
collective,
think that he could be? He is kind of a friendly guy. Do you think he could be in like some kind of form of sales or something? Because I feel like he's smart enough. It's just I don't know if he would have the right demeanor, like talking to people on the phone. Like, would he accidentally fart loud enough to where they hear it? He'd have to say, "Excuse me." Like, I'm not sure.
With sales, the tough thing. Excuse me. The tough thing is always hearing the word no, and then also being able to kind of bullshit around the edges, right? So like those would be the two areas of concern with Charles for me personally and a sales type job. I think he can learn the spiel, learn the product, and try to sell it as best he can. But when you hear no consecutively in a sales position, it is a little tough. That mentality kind of wears down on you. And I don't know. I think there's something out there for Charles. And as a collective, we've come up with so many possibilities that I feel like one of those has to be the answer for Charles, at least in the short term, right?
If you're any good at sales, you definitely know that you're going to hear, on average, 7 no's before you hear a yes. So during your pitch, you literally got to get them to say no, to like you not even trying to sell them anything, just to get a few of those out of the freaking way.
Yeah,
So yes,
seriously.
that probably
And he heard a
would be
no.
tough.
He heard a no from Chili's, so at least he's experiencing a no in that capacity, and he didn't seem too deterred by it.
And what was the reason for the no from Chili's? Just out of
They
curiosity.
went in a different direction. They didn't
He
explain why or
yeah.
who, but
I mean, he showed up like this. Didn't help.
I mean, and he was trying to be a host, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Charles. I'm really sorry, but in any kind of a customer-facing thing, you're probably going to have to be back of the house, dude. That's just the way it is, you know. Get yourself, get yourself into shape, get in the workforce, get some experience and some confidence behind you. Then maybe you can be in customer-facing, like in person. But I do feel like he would be decent over the phone because he wouldn't have that non-confidence of just being in his own skin because he's not going to be in front of somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is tough when you're the first impression of the entire building and everybody
Yeah.
walks in and sees you. And that's not a knock on Charles. I think it's hard for a lot of people that aren't necessarily used to doing that. But maybe Charles does have that within him to really give you a warm welcome to your dining experience.
Well, yeah. I mean, most places hire, fairly attractive, like high school or college age girls. I mean, that's kind of like a widely known thing. You rarely see like a male host. It happens from time to time, but it's typically younger females.
Yeah, I agree. And they're usually more flamboyant males. And maybe
Six rings, man. Did
But
it again.
Jake, do you think maybe you can take some pictures tonight and share tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. Just for you, Charleston, new Jets Rube.
What?
Only if I could play
Also,
this
I
to
never
play
asked
you
you what-
out, you horn dog.
Calm your freaky down.
Thank you, Mr. Rube. Good call, Charleston. I got to squeeze one more in and then do a raffle because I do got to end the show. We're at the 2-hour mark. Our closer today is Party with Peg and Artie. What's up, Artie?
Hey, Jake, DT, how you guys doing today?
Artie, how are you?
Good seeing you, DT. You're
What do
definitely
you got back
everybody's
there?
favorite.
What you got back there, Artie?
What's that?
What you got back there hanging on the rack?
Oh, those? There's some bikinis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you get those in the
there's
mail
some bikinis
recently?
hanging there. No, but I'm having a big get-together on Saturday. So the reason why I got a shirt on is me and Peg just got back from Sam's. Picked up some of David T's favorite, a bunch of other stuff for a Saturday night. And I come outside and these bikinis are hanging here again. Somebody's doing an abracadabra. I don't know what's going on. I thought I mailed these out. They're back.
Laundry.
Wow.
It's crazy.
The Lane Train Express sent you the bikinis when they were supposed to go to Lane Enterprises.
Exactly. So, hopefully, somebody will wear them on Saturday. Maybe we'll have a
you're
little get
handing them out
together
to
here.
guests for them to wear.
Yeah, they pick it out. They can pick out what they want. Hopefully it's somebody with a little better body than, the top room of Rube, Artie, and Kyle. And, they'll look a little better in bikinis than we would.
I'll tell you what, Artie, these last couple calls from you have been all-timers.
Hey, yeah, I'm trying. I have a good time. And the Asmaniac community is the best. And we all have a good time with it. So, hey, Peg wanted me to ask you, are we still talking about doing an Asmaniac cruise, or is that kind of dead for the moment?
No, it's not. I haven't been able to say anything. This is the biggest. I don't want to say everything yet. Yes.
Okay.
It is in the
Still
works. And when it
Okay.
is finalized, hopefully, knock on wood soon, it will be the biggest single Jake Asman event I have ever been a part of.
All right,
that's all I'm
awesome.
going to say. And I need you there,
Awesome.
Artie. It's going to be
We'll be
insane.
there.
You'll see.
Yeah, well, I want to know because I'm trying to plan my time off for the rest of this year is kind of booked up, but next year,
May
because me and Peg do
31st.
want to come up to Jersey. We want to go to a Jets home game.
I got the dates already. It's May 31st through June 7th. All right. I'm just going to tell you and anyone listening live because it's not done yet, but contracts are being signed. We have former Jet players that are coming on this cruise with
Holy
us too.
shit.
So that's all I'm going to say.
Awesome.
It is the biggest undertaking of anything I've ever done for an event or anything. So that's why I haven't talked about it, but I sent that initial post months ago to gauge interest. We are full steam ahead. I'm working with a travel company, so we are working on it, and hopefully it will be it will be, God willing, able to be announced in the coming weeks here.
All right, awesome, man. Yeah, don't forget, me and Peg in the cruise community and YouTube, we helped organize group cruises with 200, 300 people. So if you need a hand with anything, just let us know.
Oh, that's awesome. I will reach out to you, Artie, because I'll fill you in on what we have so far. I think you're going to be impressed.
All right, guys, I got to go watch these bikinis.
Ladies and gentlemen, Artie.
If you're really pretty and you have a bikini, send it to me. If you're kind of pretty and have some old underwear, send it to me. If you don't have a bikini and you can buy one at Walmart, please wear it for a week and send it to me.
He can't announce it.
Truly incredible. Truly incredible, that new lane intro.
Oh, my God. I needed something to play as I was trying to download the raffle names here, Dylan, so I thought that fit.
If Peg and Artie come on the cruise, they need to bring all of those bikinis with them.
All of them. Yeah, this cruise thing, I haven't said much.
What was that? This guy. Did he just buy those just to showcase on the show?
I don't know. I have no idea. Uno Jets. I got you down for 2 here. I'm literally putting the names together on the fly. Last chance to get in.
Dude, we got no Philly Noodles call. I'm deeply disappointed. He doesn't want to coach his team to where football is going, apparently. I had a whole presentation ready for Philly Noodles. He's letting me down. Cuzzo, when you watch back, because I know you're going to do that, you're letting me down, bud. I had the plays drawn up.
Bad. Save him for next appearance, I guess.
Yeah, OC Dill was ready, but head coach Philly Noodles was not.
Sharon with a super chat here. Final super chat, unless you get it. If you want in on the Sack Exchange raffle, if you want a chance to win this right here, this is literally your last chance, because after Sharon, we're spinning the wheel. McDonald's will hire anybody, and a lot of them just stand around. Trust me, I know all too well. Gorman at McDonald's, it makes sense. He tried Burger King. I don't know if he's tried McDonald's. I don't know if there's one near him. I'd imagine there is. There's McDonald's everywhere. That, to me, would make a lot of sense, Dylan.
100%. The only thing that would get him in trouble is if he was sneaking some fries when he's not allowed to. But all those types of jobs, I mean, they're all entry-level type jobs, right? That's what we need to get. We need Charles to get in the door of the workforce and build his resume back up. Working at a shoe place a couple years ago is just not enough. We need to get Charles back out there, back on the horse.
Black Gypsy, thank you, sir. You are in the raffle at the buzzer. His gifted membership went to listener Matt Borano. All right. Thank you to everyone who gifted or sent in a super chat. If you called in, you got entered in as well. Dylan, you know how this works. It's time for us to spin the Wheel of Champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
This is, I believe, the 5th item that we're giving away on the show today. 6, because we gave away 4 on the first show, plus JT won the Nick Mangle Daily Prize, the signed jersey. And now this is the 5th item here. Or 6. I can't count. 6 total items. I talked too much today. Hit the music, damn it. Where's the music? Is it playing? There it is.
Playing.
All right. Good luck to everyone. Thank you again to everyone who supports these crazy raffles that we do. They're so much fun, and I'm glad a bunch of people have been able to win. If you don't win, I get asked this somehow after every show. Someone reaches out. Am I in the weekly one? Yes. If you didn't win this, you're in the weekly one as well. I promise. Okay. That's why.
How'd that go again, Jake? One more time?
You're in the weekly one. Dude, it's like, I say these things a bunch, and people are like, you repeat yourself. It's like, yeah, because people don't listen.
Before you spin, my brother always laughs whenever you talk about a Joe Namath signed item, because it always seems like there's one in the raffle. He's like, gotta win that Joe Namath signed helmet. So you do have to repeat yourself a lot, but it's understandable.
Yep, it's unbelievable. Anyway, good luck, everybody. And may the best Asmaniac win. The wheel is being
spun.
Congrats
to PBM. Now if he wins, people are going to accuse it of being rigged.
He better not win. That's not good. Uh-oh. Anthony Liguriano, is it on him? 2 in a day for Anthony, Roseanne's dad. How about that? That's awesome. Anthony, well-deserved. He won a Don Maynard helmet and won a signed sack exchange photo on the same day. That is about as good as it gets for any long-suffering Jet fan. Anthony, congratulations. It was awesome to meet you in person at the draft party. That is great. So congrats to Anthony. Love that. And that wraps up an enthralling program, Dylan. I mean, this will be a show that will be discussed for probably decades to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And I take no credit or accountability for any of the positives or negatives on this show. It just seems like my shows are always fun-packed.
I think Beast might hate us now, though. I think you turned Beast against me.
Beast he said in the chat he lost all respect for me. I said we're still friends and that I still love him, and it comes from a place of love. And I just like poking the bear a little bit, right? I mean, it's all fun and games. But that storm happened. Beast said there was a storm coming, and there's literally a storm right outside my window. So maybe Beast is doing this weather controlling stuff. Who knows?
Unreal. Underrated moment. Indy Jets calling in this big show. Just thinking back to everything that happened. Unreal. All right, Dylan, before we go, plug your YouTube channel. I'm going to post a link so everyone watching can subscribe right now. Let's get you. You're right near 500, and you get the 500. Dylan can start getting super chats and memberships, and you can be compensated properly for his work. So go subscribe to his channel. If you haven't, I'm going to put the link in the chat as Dylan tells you why you need to do it.
Yes, we are 17 away. I just checked 483. So 17 away from 500. And I'm excited, man. I've been putting out content. I just put out Drew Hours film review. If anybody's into the college prospects, I'm trying to put out a daily Jets related one. If not daily, it's every other day. I did one about Steve Wilkes. So definitely a ton of content. It's crazy. I've only had my account for like 50 days and I have nearly 30 videos already uploaded. So I'm definitely cranking out the content. It's not going to stop when the regular season rolls around. It's just going to increase. So, and like Jake said, once I get to 500, I get the super chats, I get the memberships, and we're just going to get extended film breakdowns. So if you guys like the film breakdowns you're getting now that are about 15 minutes, those members, that you guys are going to get like a 40 to 45 minute film breakdown of like Justin Fields. It's going to be every pass that he throws pretty much is what we're selling here on the membership. So it's definitely going to be incentivized for everybody who joins the membership. And I appreciate everybody. All the love is just crazy. It's amazing to think that, you know, in a couple months, I've almost gotten 500. So Black Gypsy, I appreciate you just subscribing. So now I got 16 to get to 500. And like I said, the love is just incredible. And I'm going to have Jake on the show soon. Maybe next week or something, we could cook up a live stream or something. I'm doing a summer ranking series where I just ranked the offense and defense, put a grade on every single player on the roster. That'll go into the 53-man roster rankings. And then it's going to go into the AFC East roster rankings that I'm going to do next week, go over every position in the division, see where the Jets stack up, and see what their chances are in the East. So really excited for the content I got coming out.
Go subscribe to Dylan. He's as good as anyone covering this team, talking about this team, breaking it down, making it make sense, taking the football terms and breaking it down so we all could understand. At the buzzer, I just saw this comment from Roseanne. I'd like to know where my dad plans on putting all these prizes. Well, that is for you and your dad to figure out, Roseanne. Congrats again to your dad on winning.
Convince him that you need some stuff in your room, Roseanne, right?
That's right.
Hey, that would look good right there, right next to my bed.
On that note, he's Dylan Tereman. My name is Jake Asman. Thank you all who watched. We're back tomorrow. Only one show because I'm traveling for a bachelor party in the afternoon. So I got Green Bean coming on in the AM. 9 a.m. start time. I called in a favor. I said, Green Bean, the people are demanding you to make an appearance. So Green Bean Jets fan is coming on the show. So in honor of that, I'm going to end the show with a clip that I think perfectly encapsulates the greatness of both Green Bean and Gator McCluskey. Ladies and gentlemen, a blast from the past. This clip now is about 3 years old, I think. Holy crap. Go Jets, everybody. Have a good night. This person's called in under the name Green Bean. So let's go to Green Bean. He's next up on the Ghostbuster hotline. Green Bean, what do you got for us?
There he is. This is not my vape pen. This is an Apple TV remote. Hey, guys, Green Bean here. Are these Jets for real? I mean, will Denzel Mims be a difference maker this year? We'll get into all of that, but before we get started, I do want to remind you of those milk thumbs.
Bean! We gotta get going. Great Adventure has fireworks tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They have a new coaster there. Well, thanks, boys. I don't want you to forget to shave your balls with Manscaped. Promo code Jets Forever. Oh, shit, she started the mobile home. Stop, no, don't leave the counters outside the window. Oh, honey, hold on. Don't leave yet.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh my God!
Production value, Jake. That was good.
I mean, every time we get a new Gator impersonation, the production value, the impersonation, it just gets better and better.
Yeah, well, that was actually my RV too. That was really my RV. That was good. That was my whole show. I mean, that was everything I do in the vape pen. I haven't vaped since April 1st, everybody. So, so there's that. But it's going to take a while for people to undo that visual. I always had a vape in my mouth for quite a long time. But I got to say, well done. And I would watch that guy's show.
That's the great Gator McCluskey there doing his thing.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.